welcome to the Monsters Playbook and a very special edition of Book Club. Now, this is going to be a little different than our usual book club format because this is going to be a lightly edited version of the live stream episode from the Sero Does Stuff Twitch channel, where Jonny joined our good friends Ian and Cap from Shrimp and Crits in a great monster make-off competition. In the episode, their keepering skills were put to the test as they were each given prompts to create various Monster of the Week content. And they were then judged by the creator of Monster of the Week himself, Michael Sands, who also answered a few questions about the game and some upcoming content. This was a really fun live stream with some great content that we'd otherwise love to include in one of our book club episodes. So a huge thank you to Sero for having us on your show and letting us share here. As I mentioned, this episode is lightly edited, so I wanted to give everyone a heads up that the audio quality will be a bit different than what you're used to, and you may notice some occasional background noise. The good news is you'll get to hear just how furiously Jonny was typing. So, without further ado, let's make a monster.
Hi, welcome to Sero Does Stuff. I am Sero and I does stuff, usually of the TTRPG variety. And today we are doing something a little bit more ambitious. Instead of a single interview with a single person or an actual one-shot TTRPG, we're deciding to try and do a Monster of the Week game show where we have some lovely, wonderful Monster of the Week keepers and creators who will be creating whatever we want them to create live on stream, all with the help and suggestions of our lovely, wonderful live audience. And to help me with this, I called up the creator of Monster of the Week himself, the Monster Daddy as he has been dubbed, Michael Sands. Welcome, Michael. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. And as I warned all our contestants earlier, after me and Sero set up the challenges weeks and weeks ago, neither of us have looked at them before, so everyone here is going to be surprised by what happens.
Yeah. I have no idea what we're doing. We'll find out as we go. And also joining us is, we'll start with Ian. Ian from Shrimp and Crits, their usual regular keeper, but not their only keeper. Thank you for joining us, Ian. Do you have anything for us to say or?
Hello and welcome. Like Sero said, my name is Ian, and I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. And along with Ian, we also have a fellow shrimp. We have Cap.
Oh, I'm so glad it was me. Yes, I am Cap, fellow shrimp of Shrimp and Crits, and I am terrified and excited to be here.
I think everyone's terrified but excited to be here.
A little bit.
And we have another guest, another returning guest, like everyone else I've introduced before, who has been on the stream multiple times. We have Jonny from the Monsters Playbook. Hi, Jonny.
Hi. I'm very terrified as well.
These monsters must be very scary because we're all already terrified.
It's been pointed out that Jonny is between Cap and I, which means if we both turn a certain way, we can kiss him on the cheek at the same time.
Oh, which way do I have to turn? Hold on, let me pull up the stream.
This way.
Is super important. I've got an ad for fucking Raid
I think
Shadow
towards
Legends.
your
I don't know
door.
which way
I
to
think
turn.
towards your door is where you
This
turn.
way?
Yeah.
Oh, your screen, Cap.
He knows.
He knows. He feels it. Yeah.
He's loved.
He feels it. This is a good energy to start with.
It is great energy. And to make things even more fun, we usually have Kiwi coins, channel points, the little Kiwi icon down the bottom there of your chat, the audience might see. Usually we let people award a -1 or a +1 forward, but since we're not actually playing a TTRPG today, we thought we would offer something a little bit different. It's called Do a Voice. If you spend your Kiwi coins, you can nominate a person to do a voice. So while we are chatting with them, they will have to use one of the usual character voices that they do on their usual actual play podcast. we thought, we all know how to do a voice. We've had to do them before. So that along with the usual hydrate. So
Now, are they telling us which voice to use, or do we choose the voice?
Good. Very good.
I mean, they can put in a request. The only thing the audience can do is decide who will do the voice.
Cool.
Very good.
I'm sure they can make a request and you can ignore them completely if you want, but sometimes the requests are helpful. But yes. Oh, lovely. Thanks, Trucks.
Great.
And I want to point out 12 hours ago, I finished an in real life D&D campaign where I did a lot of voices and really bad accents. So I'm a little bit rough at the moment. But who should we go with? So I think I should probably do this voice so everyone knows Steve, right? So we go get started because this is the game we're going to be playing, and Mike will be helping me judge the competitors here, but we'll be what will we be doing? Let's transition over to the main screen. Ooh. Now, how things are going to work here is we will ask you, the audience, a couple of questions, okay? And we will include that in the rules and restrictions for each round. So they might have to create a monster, and we'll go, what is your favorite cake? And the audience will say, and somehow that cake will have to relate to the monster that they'll have to make, right? Do you get it? But there'll also be a time restriction. Yeah. And we will let these guys go and they'll make their monster or whatever it is they're making, while me and Mike will talk about how to make a monster, maybe. And then after we've given them a few minutes to come up with an idea, we will then start interrogating them one by one, totally putting them off while they're creating their monster. And it'll be shenanigans. Oh, yeah, and then we'll judge them on how good or how bad or stupid their monster might be.
Oh,
and we'll see who wins at the end.
And we have to draw a picture of the monster, right?
I don't know if you can do that in Google Docs, but you can certainly try.
All the information will be on the task.
Understood.
Okay, excellent.
I quickly add, draw a picture. All right, so we get started, Michael.
Sure. Let's see what the first challenge is.
Fingers crossed.
Nervous.
Please be a shrimp. Please be a shrimp.
So we ask for two things from the audience first.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
They should definitely answer before they know what those things are going to be used for.
Totally.
Yeah.
Great.
Would you like to ask Michael?
You mean I've got to find what the rules are somewhere?
Oh, you didn't know? Bring out the Google Doc, Michael.
No, not.
Now, this is maybe the longest 60 seconds in history for you to be doing this voice, and I'm very proud of you.
Let's see.
Is it 6?
Okay.
I thought it was a minute.
Shall I drop the questions in the chat?
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
Or is there
we could just read
or,
it out
or just
loud
say them with
and
words.
make them.
Oh,
yes, words. We use the words.
Okay, question number 1 for the audience. We'd like a cool or interesting place you have visited while traveling.
Yeah. So this will be something that they will have to include in the creation of what it is they're doing for this round, for round number 1. Mario says they've been to Disney World in Florida. Well, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Home field advantage, Cap. Let's
theme
go.
Park. Yeah, we'll take theme parks any day.
River of
right up our alley.
It says the Fremont Bridge Troll in Seattle.
That's a
not
pretty
a
solid
place.
suggestion.
Is that a
Yeah.
it is a place?
You're
Wow.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it lives under the Fremont Bridge, right?
It speaks for itself. I mean,
Mammoth Cave, Joshua Tree, Rocky Mountain National Park, Ghibli Land in Tokyo. Wow. House on the
These are
Rock
good.
near the Wisconsin Dells. They're getting very specific. Yellowstone National Park.
hyper specific.
Trog suggested a fictional place, Torchwood headquarters. Although it's set in an actual real place in Wales.
Cardiff.
Yeah, Cardiff. Yeah. A half-constructed and now decayed recreation of Noah's Ark.
That is
Okay,
A+
I like
suggestion.
We're going with that.
I like that as a location. Very much into
Excellent.
that.
It's my favorite, I've got to say. Yep.
It's going to get
Okay.
Hydrate, everyone.
Question number 2 for the audience. We'd like a pet or animal.
Probably go with an animal because.
Oh, well, an animal that could be a pet, shall we say.
Oh,
It
okay.
can be a pet, right?
For example.
A
You
rock.
work really hard. I love Snick.
Snake. Snake. Tricks of Valkyrie. A kiwi bird. A zebra. An emu. Cheetahs can be pets. The big gold kettle
Yeah.
bugs.
I've seen the videos, but I will not try it myself.
No, yeah.
A magpie. What do you think, Michael? Is
Parrot.
anything appealing to you?
I'm a fan of magpies. Let's go with magpie.
Magpies. Excellent. Okay, a magpie.
Noah should have left the magpies
Oh,
behind.
goodness me. I'm just looking at the rules we came up with. They're very silly.
I want to point out this
never
is
would have
mostly
guessed.
Michael's doing. Yeah, he was kind enough to
Mostly,
be
yeah.
proactive and come up with these.
You calling the rules silly really puts me at a general sense of ease, and I appreciate that.
Okay, so we've got those audience suggestions there. Should we read
Yep.
out now what it is they're actually doing?
Sure. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Or shall I?
So round 1, you were creating a location.
Mhm.
Here are the rules or restrictions that you need to abide by. It is inspired by a half-constructed and now decayed recreation of Noah's Ark. The name of it has to be a pun. There's a secret hidden here. There's also a magpie here. And you need to create a custom move for a danger at this location. And just to make things very difficult, there's a maximum of 150 words.
I love a bullet point. You're speaking my language.
We'll copy it into the chat, and you guys can then copy it into your Google Docs if you'd like. There you go. How
And
long should we
how long-
give them, Michael? Do you think 5 minutes is a bit too easy or a bit too hard, or should we
my
go for
God.
10 minutes?
I think 10 minutes.
more reasonable. 10 minutes more
Yeah.
reasonable. Okay. Well, I guess I should start the timer then.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Go.
my goodness. Panic.
So, well, our esteemed keepers, our competitors are creating locations. What should we talk about, Michael? What do people need to know about locations and Monster of the Week here?
Well, of the things that you create for Monster a Week, locations are kind of a pretty simple ones. So, you really just need the idea for it. You need like an idea of what's going to happen there, and that's about it. So I think, it's an easy start for them.
And
Except for-
locations are usually where the monster may be, where it has
Or-
been, or
Or where places where the hunters can go and investigate and find out more about it,
yeah,
that sort of thing. Yeah.
where you're likely to find bystanders, people who might be able to
magpies.
help, or magpies. Yeah. Let's see. Actually, I have a printout of all of the things I needed to know when creating a mystery for when I had to write one for the Codex of Worlds Kickstarter. I found that very handy to do that.
Yeah.
So I would always
Page
have one.
156. There you go. Of the hardcover.
Oh, well, I don't have the hardcover.
Well, then it'll be like 152 in the soft cover.
I think it'll be
So,
probably
like, few pages
140 something. 144 if you're playing at home with the paperback there. So it says that locations are places that can cause trouble for hunters. They're metaphorically hostile, encompassing all of the stuff that can go wrong around the hunters, like the phone's not working or a car not starting or getting lost and ending up in the dark. So what they need to do is they need to come up with a name, which needs a pun.
Yep.
A description of the location type, and motivation. Now, I know a lot of keepers don't necessarily pay attention to that too much, but it can be a little bit handy to help with the direction.
Well, all the threat types are basically there to give you a prompt in play, like what sort of thing is going to go on. Definitely worth including, but you also don't have to stick to the ones in the book. You can make up your own if that's going to help you when you're running the game, as long as it's something that'll kind of inspire you to what is supposed to go on there or what it's supposed to do for threats generally.
And also there's optionally you could have a map. I find a lot of people might have a map of the wider area, like if there's a town or something like that, but they might not bother with maps of smaller things like the interiors of buildings or things like that. Not really the same kind of level of detail or visualization you need in, say, a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yeah, because you don't need to like specifically know exactly which like 5-foot square everyone's in, but it can be handy to know how the rooms connect or that sort of thing.
Yeah. Especially if it's just for the keeper's reference, like you just scribble something down. And optionally, one or more custom moves. And we are requiring a custom move for these guys. But could you just briefly explain, Michael, what a custom move actually is for those playing along at home?
Okay, so in Monster of the Week, like many Powered by the Apocalypse games, you've got the idea of a move, which is basically like a way to say an ability, a special power, something like that. So for threats like locations, a move's basically just a thing that will happen there. It could be just like a special feature of the place, like it's always foggy here, or you're likely to meet this person here, something like that. Or it could be something that requires the hunters to make a roll and resist a danger or that sort of thing. So yeah, anything goes. But it's just a way to kind of track what things can happen there and what's special about that place.
Awesome. I noticed we might have had some questions from the audience, but Mario asks,
I saw one of them.
Do you agree that locations could potentially have sub-locations where each different room is a different location tag?
Yeah. And I dropped an answer there. Yeah, definitely. You could have like a location that's a castle and then different locations within it for special places, like if there's like an evil monster dungeon, that might be its own kind of thing that has a separate vibe and set of moves and description to the main castle. Yeah, so definitely.
Yeah, okay. Maya asks, what would be a hard kind of location, like maybe to avoid or be aware of so as not to get into a corner?
Not sure, really. I mean, locations, like I say, they're like a summary of what you're going to find in a place. So there's not really a hard or easy to it. It's just, what there is.
I think you just need to tap into your imagination.
Clock check, judges?
Oh, I'm not sure if the clock is actually accurate.
Excellent, love that.
Attention, because I looked and it said 5 minutes,
panic.
and then I looked again and now it says it's almost 3 minutes. But I guess we should probably talk to someone in the 3.5 minutes we have left. Who would you like to talk to, Michael? Because this is what Cap's got at the moment.
Let's go for Cap because he looks like he's in a flow state.
Can't wait.
That will be very.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Okay, so
tell me, am I doing this in my voice or another voice?
No, that's a good prompt. Audience, go for it.
Just so I know the level I need to bring here.
Yeah. So what are you building for us?
I am building you a puzzle room, an escape room called the Ark of the Puzzlement.
Nice.
That's my pun for you. I know. By all your laughter, I know it was great.
Yeah. And you now speak in a voice now, Cap, thanks to JR.
Great. Okay, so it's very simple. It's the horrifying, macabre room full of, desecrated creatures in a half-sunken ship. You got to find your way out, typical escape room. The thing is, they don't really want you to find your way out. And as my custom move tells you, I am adding a level of ghosts to the situation, which is out of left field, but, gotta love ghosts.
Yep. Solid.
I love solid. Thank you so much.
Who should we jump to next?
Jonny? What have you got for us, Jonny? Yeah.
Wow, Jonny has a bit.
Oh, that's a big custom move there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My place is called Nozark. At least that's what they call it now.
Very good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Intended to be a creationist themed water park when the funding ran out, and especially when pairs of animals started showing up for unknown reasons, it was eventually abandoned.
Love it. Man. I think we should skip to Ian since we only have a minute and 20 odd seconds left.
Let's just do it last minute. Yep.
Ian. Oh. He's even used.
What?
Oh,
don't like that at all.
You've got styles.
This is Flash. You guys gotta up your game.
Uh-oh, no, don't say that. How's it going, judges?
Good.
We're going great. What about you?
Yeah. With 50 seconds left.
I love this. Noah's Dark. Wow.
Noah's Dark,
Prison
yeah,
to
that's what we got
constrain and prevent exit. Nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Just throw in a fun bird fact for everyone. So me and Sero in New Zealand, the magpies we're used to are Australian magpies, unlike the rest of the world where they're reasonably cute, smart little birds. Australian magpies are just as smart, much louder, and really huge and predatory compared to the ones that you get in the Northern Hemisphere.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're massive. So there's a different vibe for magpies in this part of the world.
I feel like there's a different vibe for a lot of animals in that part of the world.
Guys,
Yeah.
remove your hands from your keyboards.
Okay.
Who should we start with first? Should we go back to
See.
Cam?
I'm just doing some
I'm out of my
word counts
depth.
first.
Oh, you're doing word counts. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that's
Forgot
part of
about
the
that.
rules, right?
Yep, 150 words.
Jonny.
Is anyone?
148.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay, Ian, you have 147.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
And
Don't
Kat,
tell me.
111. So everyone passes.
Everyone passes that requirement. That's awesome.
Cool.
So, should we go through each one now and
That's
just give some
probably a
feedback?
sensible idea. Yeah.
We'll start with Cap then. So,
Okay.
I'm
you
an
wanna
open
read
book.
that for us, Cap.
Okay. So we've got Arc of the Puzzlement. That's pun ticked off. Good. It's a well-constructed escape room meant to trap those within forever, fashioned in the macabre visage of a half-decayed sunken ship, littered with remains both human and animal. Type, death trap. Notes, self-explanatory, which I guess is fair. Basic secret. A magpie skeleton in a cage conceals the trigger to a hidden exit, and the custom move is Spirit of the Wild. Upon investigating any remains, roll plus weird. On a 10+, the spirits are held at bay. On a 7 to 9, an animal spirit of the keeper's choice rises from the grave to impede the hunters. On a miss, the room is awakened, and the hunters must find their way out or fight for their lives. Yeah, it's a good location.
It's what's on the tin, you know?
Yeah.
So, is there a magpie?
Yeah, those are
There
magpie
is a
Yep, the
skeletons.
basic secret magpie.
For the way
skeleton.
out, yeah.
Okay,
Because you can
yes,
tell the
excellent.
magpie skeleton from any other bird. It's a very distinct skeleton.
One
Super
of the first things
distinct.
you learn in kindergarten.
It is.
There's a lot of birds in New Zealand. I gotta tell
They
you
have
that.
so many
guys.
teeth. It's so easy to tell.
Okay, so to allocate some points, I'm going to rate you from 1 to 5 for kind of coolness and usability, and 1 to 5 for meeting all the requirements. So, Arc of the Puzzlement, Cap, you're getting 5 points for meeting the requirements, because I think you do have everything. Pun, secret, magpie, custom move, and it's inspired by the location. So, yep, 5 points there. Coolness, I'm going to give this a 4. I think that's pretty cool.
Cool.
I appreciate that very much.
Okay, next in my tabs is Ian.
If someone could
Noah's
just clip
Dark.
him saying that my thing was cool, that would be just stupid.
Well, you can clip it.
Okay, Noah's
Someone else
Dark.
would clip
So
and ask me for
definitely hit the pun.
Yeah.
Okay, once a wonderful visit for religious tourists, it lost its funding decades ago and is now a dark and dingy place where Dr. Noah keeps the animals he's been collecting for nefarious purposes. If a hunter is captured by Dr. Noah, they might find themselves constrained here. There is a magpie Dirt.
Yep, that's how we say there in Georgia, in Tennessee.
I'm afraid
yeah.
it says Dirt. Okay, custom move, the arc reaction. When you find yourself in one of Dr. Noah's cages, it makes a copy of you. Roll plus sharp. On a hit, the copy is friendly. Nice. Then you can choose some options for it, such as making it weaker or making it not like you. If you may roll badly, it is stronger than you and hates you. Lovely. I am, that gets 5 points for meeting the rules, and I'm also going to give you 4 points for coolness. I think pretty sweet.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
Not high
Jonny,
five through me.
I'm excited for this one.
we've got Nozark, at least that's what they call it now. A creationist-themed water park shut down when it became a near-constant site of animal invasions. Lovely. In the months since then, abandoned. Plumbing is still kind of working, and it's a lush brick-bound Eden. Several pairs of exotic animals call this place home, and they do not look kindly on anyone invading. Custom move, Maury the magpie, who lives here, finds you, roll plus charm. He may help you with the mystery or lead something to you. That's pretty cool. And you hit all the rules, so that's 5 points. And I'm going to give this one 5 points for coolness because I really like Maury the magpie.
Gave him
I
a
like it
name.
too, even though I just made him up.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
That's what you guys need. Some hints. You need to name things. Cool names, alliteration, puns will win the judge over.
Good to
Actually,
know.
mostly
Good to know.
it was the if you roll badly, he'll lead something else to you. That's a lovely touch.
It's a nice
Cool.
hard move.
Can we clip that part too, just real quick?
Anyone can clip that. All right.
We got to stay
So
in the
do you
zone,
guys-
us keepers. We don't have time for clips.
Awesome. So,
Okay.
what did you guys think of that round? Was that enough time?
Let's see what my heart rate says.
I mean, they all finished, so it must be plenty of time, right?
Yeah, but I had the typo.
Except for one typo, yeah.
One typo, yeah. We didn't even nitpick your American English, so
How about we throw the while we get everyone's feedback? Should we throw out the audience questions for the next round?
yeah,
Fine
sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask them there?
Sure.
Michael?
Okay, audience, what's a cool monster? And question number 2, pick a color.
Yeah, easy one. Nice and easy for the audience.
Yeah.
Just any color. How hard could it
Yeah. So what did you guys think? Was that something you could easily come up with? Was it the right
Easily?
amount of time? I mean, you came up with something.
Sort of blacked out for a second.
be?
There.
I did. Yeah, that's what it was. It was Michael said it best. It was I was in a flow state, but it was a terrifying flow state. Maybe I went
I do want to play a mystery with all of these locations now.
Yeah, let's take everything we make tonight.
That's next month's stream.
Yeah,
Let's
There we go.
make a book.
I like where this
sell
is
it.
going.
I'm
Yeah, we-
serious.
This is
We should talk
good.
about this. We should talk about this.
Yeah.
Can we boost
Okay.
Johnny's audio?
Can we
looks
watch
like-
it? Boost it. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Let's see what I can do.
That's what the chat says.
Looks like blue
That's
is
what the
getting
chat
the
says.
most votes for the color.
Of course it is.
Oh,
Of course
okay.
it is.
Although
Talk,
neon
Johnny,
magenta
I can't remember
does
which
stand
yes
out.
number you are.
Neon magenta does stand out. I would have to
I'm the one.
Google that.
I'm this one. Hello, this one here. This one who's hi. It's a new mic, gang. I have a new pair of gaming headphones because I'm a boomer and I need to get better at streaming.
You're not a
You're
boomer.
not a
I'm
boomer.
definitely not a boomer, but I am
Come on.
ancient when it comes to this sort of thing.
Do we delete our old our location?
No, leave it there.
or
Leave
type
it. Leave
under
it. Leave it
Okay,
there.
okay.
No,
Leave
yeah,
it there.
yeah, keep
Type
it there.
under it.
We can't make a book if there's no text. Hopefully he's louder. I have no idea. I just click some buttons. We'll see what happens.
That usually works.
Hello.
Yeah,
hello,
that's what
hello,
I
hello.
figured.
Yeah.
If not,
Putting
Trucks will
buttons
come
down.
out and help me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
So Sero, do we want to go for blue or just go for the neon magenta for wildness sake? It's
I
like
mean,
weirdest versus most votes, basically.
yeah. I mean, the audience seem to want blue.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Blue's the color. Monsters. We've got
What's the Fresno?
Creature from Black
Those are
Lagoon.
the
We've
living pants. I'm all about the living pants. Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Nightcrawler, Mothman, Mr. Blobby,
Mr. Bobby. The Americans won't get that.
Jackalope.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that
Nightcrawlers.
because
Yeah,
I
there's a lot
was
of votes
lost.
for. There's someone there very keen on Nightcrawlers. A Night Hag.
Love a jackalope. Love a nightcrawler.
I mean, jackalopes, or what was this? Living pants.
I didn't see Living
Fresno
Pants.
Nightcrawlers.
Is that
Fresno
just cat-
Nightcrawlers, yeah. They are an interesting cryptid.
I will have to
Okay,
Google.
just-
I've
I'm
not
Yeah.
come across that one.
Pants.
I don't know that one
Is that a
either.
thing?
Oh, yeah. They're one of my faves. Not that I'm stacking the deck in my direction by any means. They are odd little guys.
Fresno.
Oh, and we've got
We
Nessie
should-
voted for too. So
We should definitely do something we all have some idea of. Vampires?
What's that? I've never heard of that one.
What are those?
Maya being exceedingly on brand.
I'm pretty sure
Everyone loves a good
everyone's done a vampire on this
Yeah.
stream, right?
Yes.
I've played one.
Yeah. Unicorns.
unicorns.
Mhm.
Jason.
Unicorns.
Sero, I can't decide. I'm going to leave this one to you.
Wow, we're unicorns. Let's go with a weird unicorn and
Okay.
blue.
A were unicorn?
Oh no! Don't get ahead of yourself. Okay, there we go. I've updated the rules. Sero,
Oh, dear.
if you want to drop them
Yep.
into the chat.
We'll let them know what it is first, and then we'll drop it in. So you were creating, you guessed a monster, but you're wrong. You're creating a
Oh, good.
minion. Your task is to create an original minion that would work for a were unicorn.
Mm.
So you're not making the were unicorn, you're making a minion for the were unicorn. The rules and restrictions are it is blue. It must not be inspired by any real folktale, cryptid, or film TV monster. So we're asking you for the impossible. It has to be an original
Yeah.
idea.
Great.
Yep.
The minion's name and any power moves must rhyme. You get more points the more rhymes you get, I guess. And the weakness has multiple parts. So this minion has a weakness. Should I just pick one of the weakness
No, it
options
should be
you've
all of
got
them.
down here,
It's
or
gotta-
all of them?
No, that needs to have all three.
All three of them? Wow,
so
he's
it's a
really
three-part
asking.
weakness.
So one, the weakness is something found in a remote, hard to reach location. It is something, number two, it is something that can be found at a farmer's market at that remote, hard to reach location, and something that rhymes. So this is a rhyming minion, essentially.
Yeah. And I'll point out for the weakness, it's not one thing that matches all those. It's a weakness. The weakness is the three
Okay.
different things brought together somehow.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and I've copied and pasted that into
Okay,
the
thank you
chat
so
so everyone can look that over. Should we
Okay.
give them a bit longer than
If
10
you
minutes
could.
this time?
Oh my
Since
goodness.
we spent a lot of time talking and then
Look,
had to rush through.
This one's
to
easier
get
though
to
because
the-
there's no word count restriction. So
Yeah, I don't really think that was much of a restriction for location. I think they were rushing to even get 148.
okay,
You know, minutes.
we
We'll
could be
give them
generous and
50
give them a
Oh,
few
no.
more minutes.
I was
Let
rushing
me-
to get as close to 150 without going over as I could.
Okay, so you guys copied that over into your wherever it is you need, so you can follow those rules. Remember, it is a minion that works for a were unicorn. It is not a were unicorn itself.
Yep.
And on your marks, get set, go. So let's talk about minions, Michael.
Okay,
Should I
so
just
in
read out what you've got in the book?
Oh, no,
Or
let-
do you
let's
want to
just- we can freeform it. Yeah, so minions
go
are
for it.
basically like minor monsters that the hunters will come across. So they're usually not as tough as the main monster that they have to defeat. They might not even have a weakness that you've got to find, although this one does. You know, so they might be like, you know, a horde of killer rats or something that you've just got to deal with, but they're not really the main point of the thing. So yeah, simply, you know, minor monsters that aren't the main point of your adventure, but have to be dealt with along the way.
Do they have to be monsters? Can they also be like?
Oh, no,
regular
they could be like
people?
a person working with the monsters or even like mind controlled or something, you know, just someone who's working against the hunters or something that's working against them.
Because there's you've got in the book you've got about 10 different minion types, and they're a good way to give a type or a type of motivation to the minions that are out there. I really like how you've got like assassins that are basically there just to kill the hunters, but if you don't want that, they could be, say, a Renfield, which is a good example. That they're there to push the victims towards the monster, so they're bringing the victim to the monster, so the monster can like suck its blood or whatever it is like that.
And all those threat types are
Renfields.
kind of based on my kind of thinking about all the things that minor monsters or monsters servants would be trying to do and how they'll kind of impact the monster hunters.
Maya has a question in here. What's the weirdest funny minion you've created or played with?
There's some pretty fun fairies. Oh, actually, Sero, was this in the stream we did? Yeah, there were some crazy fairies in that game that were really enjoyable to play and run. They were very, very bad fairies, but also quite tiny.
Yeah, because tiny can be annoying, especially if there's a number of them. Because you can also have swarms as minions.
Yeah.
If anyone else has any questions, just feel free to chime in and we'll answer them as we
or
see
we could
them.
interrupt one of our contestants.
Yeah, we could ask them what they they think. I'm trying to think of some of the minions that I've come up with. One could argue that Steve, who was the voice I did earlier, is a minion, although my audience doesn't really know who he's a minion of yet. He's kind of been loitering and been involving himself in things from the beginning, but because it's a campaign, I have a bigger monster threat down the way, so he's just been introduced pretty early on.
And you can do that exact same thing with minions and Monster Elite too. That's a kind of perfectly good kind of role for them to have in your game.
Should we go bug someone?
Yeah, I got to die so we can roll it to see who gets.
Oh,
to go first.
yep, sure.
Okay, Jonny.
Oh, good.
I
got
saw
for
your
us?
face. I saw your face. Where is it, Jonny? Oh, on the next page. Excellent.
Yes,
Okay.
I could do formatting too. I did a hard.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing this basically out of order, especially because you told me his moves had to rhyme too. I'm doing my bystander is named Chet Shetland. He is a were Shetland pony. And one of his moves, I bet you would, but I don't have to. You don't get to pick that. I was officially told
Johnny
Maya.
has to do a voice. Maya would like Johnny to do a voice. Maya has requested Is it Brady? I'm sorry.
It's Brad.
Brad. Wow, that's an interesting way to spell Brad.
Yeah, his name is Brad Vickers, which is a side character from the original Resident Evil, but I spelled his name all wrong and did a horrifying voice that I hate to do, which means they want to talk to him all the time.
Oh, I know that. I know that feeling. I feel for you, man. But you've got to do a voice, so pick one.
Well, I'm going to instead do the ears hotline lady voice.
Okay.
So, which will make me fit in right here with all these triple crits folks. So yeah, his move is called How Blue Are You? And as a Shetland pony who is just a beautiful baby blue, it's mesmerizing to behold. You ever seen anything so cute? Roll plus sharp to find out. And on a 10 plus, you've been browsing Instagram and the dodo so much that you're pretty much immune to his charms. 7 or 9 is okay, I guess, but on a 6 or less. Well, my goodness, you just got to follow him wherever he does lead.
Very nice.
I love that voice. That was awesome, Jonny. That's so good. I guess we'll leave you alone for now, and we'll go pick on someone else.
Yep. And that will be Cap.
Oh, I'm so happy. Welcome to my
What have you got
disaster.
for us?
It's beautiful. I have the Blue Bend. Now, I'll tell you, in this lore I've created, whenever a rainbow happens in the vicinity of a were-unicorn, they change into a were-unicorn. Obviously, everybody knows that. When this happens, I'm not going to say the were-unicorn farts this out, but another rainbow is created. In that rainbow, you have seven separate minions, but we're looking at the Blue Bend today, which is the blue beam of light from that rainbow. Now, it has 7 harm boxes, 1 for each bend of the rainbow. You have to defeat all 7 to, take down these minions. They're intangible. It gave them 0 armor just because you cannot hurt them with mundane weapons. We're still working on those weaknesses. I got the start of an attack down, but I'm feeling powerful about this one. I'm feeling the unicorn magic flowing through me.
Yeah, clearly.
I love that you've got a minion for each color of the rainbow. Essentially, you're just focusing on Bluey right now.
Yeah, Bluey, exactly. Thanks for coming by.
Just trying to get rid of it already.
Well, that's fair enough. Oh, well,
David says the blue. An additional David says the blue beam of light. You say blue yonder intensifies. That's a reference to the Starsick trilogy that Ian, I, and additional David and were involved in not too long ago, where I got an awesome clip of Ian getting the talk from his mother, the sex talk, which I watched the other day. It was hilarious.
That was a very good time.
I loved setting you up for that one. I guess we should go see Ian next then, speaking of Ian.
What have you got for us, Ian?
Oh, I've got, Cap must be copying my sheet. He must be looking over at me because I'm in your drive. Kind of a rainbow bridge situation where each color has different minions. But I'm focusing on the Blue Galoo crew today. The Blue Galoo crew are small elf-like blue creatures in blue suits. They're all completely bald, and they have a unicorn horn. But they're much smaller than their were-unicorn overlord. Yeah, they can make you sad because, they're blue and all of that. And you have to get through them to get across the rainbow bridge to find the very remote were-unicorn's lair. Cool. Yeah. Gonna start work. I think I have time. What's the time limit looking like? 5 minutes? 5-ish? 5.5,
coming up to about 5.5 minutes to go.
All right, let's see if I can cook something else up then.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm liking the puns that I've seen so far.
Yep. Yeah. And I guess the multiple rainbow themed things for unicorns is not very surprising.
Fair.
I mean, magical rainbows, farting unicorns is a thing, right? So, any questions from the audience about minions or minions and locations? Or we unicorns, I guess. Do you guys like that you can see them thinking intently? They're staring at their screen and tapping their
If you're asking us, I have opinions.
Are we supposed to be able to see the audience?
The audience is
Yeah, you guys have your cameras on, right?
Mario Galaxy Man 25 asks, what's the most powerful minion you all have made in the past? I guess that's open to any of you guys if you're actually able to listen while in the flow state.
I think
I'm not.
Why don't I kick it off? Okay. I've definitely made like basically undefeatable minions to use in various things a couple of times. Basically to just have like a super powerful thing that the hunters have to work around or somehow trick or get out of the picture before they can deal with anything else. So yeah, just essentially unbeatable as I've used a couple of times.
Yeah, I guess Steve is just going to keep coming up because at the moment I don't even know how to defeat Steve. Because he essentially is able to grant wishes in return for things. So I've just left it wide open as to how far his wishes can go. They haven't even tried to defeat Steve yet. They see him as an ally. Sorry, that's a spoiler.
Sure, we'll be fine.
Dixon asks, how many minions do you mark off when a swarm or group is attacked by a character?
I mean, that's kind of up to you. I'd normally do it that I'd normally just give the minion swarm a harm track, and based on how big they are, like 1 point of harm might get one of them or a few of them. You know, like if it's a killer rat swarm, each point of harm might be 10 rats. But if it's like, I don't know, a group of like vampire aardvarks, you know, each one might be one point of harm.
Yeah, okay.
Hydrate,
everyone. Thank you, Rosie.
No time.
Yeah, we'll get you in a bit.
In 2 minutes and 20 seconds, you'll get to it, I guess.
We could give the audience the questions for the next round so that they can start thinking about them.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Audience, we need a person's name.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a favorite piece of clothing.
So Rosie says, oh, you tempt me so with the kiwi to hydrate. I fell right into the trap. I was about to bring the flood. Yeah, Rosie, we miss you too. Chicken Wing McGee has a suggestion for a name.
I'm quite liking the lucky sock.
Yeah. Wow, the Chad jockstrap. Trixie. It's a bit early in the day in New Zealand for what you're thinking. 1 minute and 6 seconds. Jonny hardly looks phased.
Must be nice.
Jonny, look stressed out, or you're going to have our time reduced on the next one.
Yeah. I need full sweat beads.
Yeah, I've entered a state of emotionless panic. My face muscles have come disconnected from my brain.
Yeah.
You know, this might make sense.
We'll find out when it's read out.
Well, to be fair, the rules did not include it has to make sense.
All right.
That helps out. That helps out a lot.
15 seconds.
The last move I'm doing.
10 seconds.
That's what you got.
3, 2, 1. Hands off keyboards.
Okay, I want to start looking over Jonny's one because of the looking so cool and collected. That's your punishment. Okay, do you want to talk us through what you've provided?
All right, so his name is Chet Shetland. He will present it first as the farmhand on a local farm, but secretly, obviously, he's a scout for Bjorn Oskjorn, the unicorn. What does the unicorn want with his victims? I don't have to tell you, because you might have to face him one day, and that would be telling. Chet is, in fact, a were Shetland pony, and when he chooses to, he can transform into a teeny tiny stumpy-legged pony, and oh my god, it is so cute. As mentioned, it is a beautiful powdery baby blue. So one of his moves is, how blue are you? The appearance of his Shetland pony form is mesmerizing. Have you ever seen anything so cute? Roll plus sharp to find out. 10 plus, I've seen better. Decades of the dodo and related cutesy Instagrams have rendered you more or less immune to his charms. You're able to tell that I didn't finish that sentence. 7 to 9, I mean, he's okay, I guess. 7 to 9, I mean, he's okay, I guess. He's adorable, and the last thing you want to do is lose track of him. If he leaves, you must roll act under pressure to not follow him. 6 or less, it's the cutest thing you can possibly imagine, and you will stop at nothing to ride this little thing to wherever he wants to bring you. He also has a move called the Unsmart Fart. Chet may become flatulent at will. In addition to creating an uncomfortable smell that might drive you from any given location, it will also make it impossible to focus on what you want to. Take -1 on going to all sharp rolls.
Yes. Fart humor, the highest humor.
I love it.
I've had farts in ours. Look at us.
And finally, the thing I was working on at the end, which is why I was looking something other than terrified, was called the Worst Horse. In addition to turning into a horse, Bjorn has gifted Chet with the ability to summon a horse made entirely out of bone who can bite to chill the blood, to harm close, messy paralysis.
His minion is a minion.
Now, I have to say, if you give him 5 points, we're all going to make more fart jokes on the next round because we now know fart.
We're learning.
For the rules, I'm afraid I do have to dock you some points.
Yeah.
Shetland is only kind of a rhyme because of the land.
It's a near rhyme. Fair.
Yeah, but you do have a lot of rhymes in there. So half a point for that. And another half a point because you don't actually state that Chet is blue in the text. Yeah. So 4 points for following the rules. Coolness and usefulness, I will give 4 points. I think he's very solid, strange minion.
I will take solid and strange.
Weird, I have that tattooed on my chest.
Yeah, okay. At the very least, I'm putting it on my resume.
Who wants to go next?
If we both have rainbows, can we do them at the same time?
That would be far too confusing for me.
Go ahead, Ian. I went first last time. I'll go last this time.
All right.
Okay. Talk us through.
We'll talk us through the Bluegaloo crew, which is my guardian, or rather guardian type. There are more than likely, depending on how you choose to run this mystery, many of them. The Bluegaloo crew are small, elf-like blue creatures in blue suits. They also have horns from their bald heads, like I mentioned. They exist in the blue stripe of the rainbow. You must beat them to get across the rainbow bridge to find the extremely remote where unicorns lair. Their powers are little mood dudes. They can specifically make you blue or sad, obviously. Their weakness are locally made blueberry preserves from the farmer's market. They hate when blue things are crushed to make fresh jam. Their attacks they are beaming with sadness. They can beam you with this sadness, rather. That's 1 harm, ignore armor, saddening. Their forlorn horn is intimate, but it does 3 harm. They have 1 armor, 4 harm is their capacity, and they have a move called Bad Mood Blues. The Bad Mood Blues. Each time you're hit by a saddening ray, the keeper holds 1. After a hunter rolls, the keeper can then spend 3 holds to make that hunter just too bummed out to perform that action. And they begin loafing around instead.
Awesome. Okay. Now, reading through that, I do need to dock some other points off Jonny because you didn't include the 3-part weakness.
Fair.
So
make it 3.5.
I'm knocking you down to 6 points total.
6 points total.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay. So
I should have been panicking.
For the Bluegaloo crew, that is a lot of rhymes. Very well done. I'm going to knock you down a single point for having only the 1 part of the weakness there, but the part that there is very good. Coolness level, I think for the small horned Smurf type guys, 5 points. So total 9.5.
Yeah.
Thank you.
9.5. Okay.
Cool. And okay, Kat, You're up.
Right. See, now all of my rhyming went into the weaknesses portion, which is where I thought it was supposed to be, but that's fine. So we're still on the
Well,
blue.
it was supposed to be there too.
Okay, I've got it there.
Just
I've got
rhyme,
it there. As many as I
all
get.
over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've changed his type to Guardians after some reworking.
Yep.
What I said before, this created when a unicorn changes into or a human changes into a were-unicorn or whatever creature may so happen to have this affliction. Now, I didn't get a chance to do a harming attack, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this is one of the 7 bends that doesn't do harm, but it does have an effect that when you are touched or blasted by its light, you are overcome with intense melancholy. Roll plus cool. On a 10 plus, you maintain your resolve. On a 7 to 9, take -1 ongoing to any further cool rolls until the end of the scene. On a miss, you are completely overcome with melancholy and are temporarily under the control of the bend. For its weaknesses, combining the unicorn's natural weaknesses into one place will heal the were creature of its curse, thus dispelling all 7 bends. Those 3 weaknesses are Holy Hay Bales, Sanctified Salt Licks, and a Priest's Prism to capture the bends, obviously.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to mark you down because those are all alliteration, not rhymes.
They are. Yeah. I got excited.
Nothing wrong with
they're
that.
good
alliteration. They are.
Okay.
Listen, we're all getting knocked a little bit. I don't feel so bad.
Yeah. Okay. Now, in terms of the concept, I absolutely love them, in particular because they don't actually harm people. They just depress them. That's great. So 5 points for coolness and usefulness, and you've got the color, you've got the different parts of the weakness. I'm just going to knock you down a point for alliteration instead of rhymes. So that's 9.
I'll take it.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay, now we've got to go back through the chat log and figure out which clothing and name for the next challenge.
Right, so we have...
I reckon the lucky sock.
The lucky sock sounds awesome. If you want to put the lucky sock in there, that'd be great.
Not but
names,
the lucky sock.
Yeah.
What are hand-to-pants, students, loans, and debts? I'm not sure. Hand-to-pants, is that meant to be gloves?
That's an Archie McPhee thing.
What? Okay.
I'm about to change your life.
Okay. Names, we've got Chicken Wing McGee.
That's pretty solid.
Chad Jockstrap. A Tattered Punk Battle Vest. Hang on, that's not a name. Keith.
Bernie Bushington. Oh, Keith and Bernie Bushington.
Oh.
A lot of biblical references this game.
How about we let them pick the name, the competitors pick one of the names each, so they don't create.
Oh, so they're different. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Should we roll for it?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you want?
What are our choices here?
Yeah, what are the choices?
Chicken Wing McGee.
It's pretty good.
Chad
Jockstrap.
I think
Keith.
Bear Riker was one of them too.
Bear Riker. Bernie Bushington. And late vote for Marvin Gary Michaels.
Okay.
I think we need to have Chicken Wing.
Pick.
I feel like...
And hydrate, everyone. And hydrate if you didn't hydrate earlier, too.
I'm so tempted just to take Keith. Just Keith.
Yeah, I think just claim the one you want and go with it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about Keith.
This is round 3. This is ally or a bystander. So you need to create an ally or a bystander and a hunter contact who's a bit dubious or unreliable. And the rules and restrictions here are the name is one of the ones that was offered by the audience. They have a special and unique ability, bonus points for the weirdest one, which I'm sure all of you will come up with. They always wear a lucky sock, and they have a problem that the hunters will inevitably, sorry, I can't say words, get involved with. So I will copy that over into the chat. How long do you think you guys need?
We're making just a bystander? Did you say we're making that and something else?
No, ally or bystander.
Yeah.
Okay.
And picked one of the names that was suggested by the audience.
15 minutes felt wonderful.
It did. It felt very nice.
Still, we've been going quite a while. Let's do 10 minutes for this one, I think. I think this one's easier. You don't need to make rhymes or anything here.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but you don't have
What
to.
if we do?
I apparently can't make rhymes anywhere, so...
Yeah. There's no real restrictions here. It's just what you need to include. So everyone got a name?
I do have
I heard
names.
Chicken Wing McGee
Keith
is
got
mine.
claimed.
Chicken Wing McGee and Keith have been claimed.
I think that just leaves Chad Jockstrap for me.
Amazing.
There were a
You're
few
born for
others.
this.
But
I know, but not really.
That's the one. Yeah.
No, not really.
Okay.
Stands out
Nothing
quite
really
like
holds a
Jockstrap.
candle.
Ready, set, go. So what do bystanders need, whether they're an ally or not there, Michael?
Well, bystanders are basically just your non-player characters for Monster of the Week. So they're just everyone that the hunters will interact with in the course of mystery, or possibly, like if they're an ally, that means they're like an ongoing contact who will help them out. So yeah, so this is just kind of regular extra characters like you have in any role-playing game, but just, with the way we treat them in Monster of the Week as a threat, with a motivation to inspire you and some details about who they are and what they do.
And the cool things about bystanders is that even though they have their own motivation types and everything, they all have the potential to become a victim of the monsters and the minions.
Yeah, because the other thing about all these different classes of things, locations, minions, bystanders, monsters, so on, is that they've all got a set of moves associated with them too for the sort of things they can do. So like bystanders have things like run towards the monster and things like that. I'm not sure if that's exactly one of them, but that sort of thing. All the victim stuff you'd expect for someone in a horror show to do.
I tend to give some of my bystanders, I tend to point out what they might have on them that could be handy. Like if they're a police officer, especially if it's an American one, they might have their a bulletproof vest or a flashlight, handcuffs, that kind of thing. So I will give them potentially attack abilities, that kind of thing. And it's also things that you can steal. The hunters can steal off bystanders as well.
Or even ask for and borrow.
They might. Maybe not a police officer, but yeah.
The other thing I like to do is put like a short bullet point of custom moves for a bystander of just like 3 or 4 typical things that they might do, like whether it's a catchphrase or a kind of typical sort of thing that they are interested in, which I find helps me too.
And I think if they're
that's a newer idea, so it's not in the book.
Yeah. Because I think also another good helpful thing to put in there for keepers is, especially if it's a recurring character or if you're prone to forget, if you do voices, what kind of voice you decided to use for them. You can put a note down there on like if they have a southern drawl or if you speak high pitched or if they can't use contractions, that kind of thing. That's always
exactly
handy to note that down. Saying it's handy, it doesn't mean I actually do it. So often I will say, I've already forgotten what voice I used for this character. But yeah, bystanders are an awesome way to provide helpful information to the hunters, but also do potentially
also people they can kind of relate to who can then get gruesomely eaten is the other.
They might feel for them. They might feel bad if they fail to protect them. They can also be dicks too.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, frequently, quite a few of the bystander motivations are, not very helpful, shall we say.
And if they have to roll to manipulate them and they roll really bad, that bystander can totally change their opinion of that hunter and not be helpful at all, or even be aggressive towards them. Dixon asks, do you try to set a limit on how many you kill off, or do you let the dice decide?
In Monster of the Week, the Keeper doesn't really roll for stuff like that. So basically, you have a set of Keeper moves that you can use, and all the threats will have their own. So in a case when there's bystanders and monsters in the same place, the monsters have moves like attack brutally. So and bystanders have Oh, yeah, so, well, let me finish that thought and then I'll get to your subsequent thought. Yeah, you don't need to track harm precisely for bystanders, so you can just like rule, if the vampire attacks this guy, he's dead, kind of thing, or badly wounded. In terms of in reaction to hunter rolls, yeah, definitely. If a hunter's fighting a monster with bystanders nearby and they roll really badly, it might not be that the hunter gets hurt, it might be that a bystander gets killed or something like that. So yeah, it's definitely, always on the table. And because in Monster of the Week, you're kind of playing based on what's happening in the game right now, you're always going to know in a fight situation who's the monster targeting will be in your mind and like how people are arranged. So it'll just be whatever makes sense is to be what happens in reaction to a good or bad hunter roll. How are we looking for time?
We're down to just 4 minutes. Should we
4
go
minutes
speak
left.
to Ian for a moment?
Okay.
He stepped up his formatting game and now has some nice, pretty fonts.
Do you want to give us a quick intro to Chicken Wing McGee?
Oh, Chicken Wing McGee is the mundane's best friend. He's
actually, Ian, you have to read your bystander profile in a voice. The request has been either Meta's or Donnie's voice, but it's up to you.
Donnie. Oh, well, shoot, I haven't done Sheriff Donnie Terrence in quite a while, and I think Sheriff Donnie Terrence would really like Chicken Wing McGee. He's a good old one of them good old boys. He has won every dang old chicken wing eating competition down at the Golden Gull, and a glance at his sports bar tab could maybe knock your grandma dead. I'll get into everything else later, but that's what we got for now.
Cool.
Okay.
Who should we interrupt next?
We'll go with Cap.
Oh,
okay.
I'm so happy. Oh, you're going to like this one. It is straight from the hip. This is Keith. Everyone knows the guy. That guy is Keith. He looks like an average guy in almost every way, but little do his co-workers know. He's a fiendish and tricky fae, loose from the Fey wilds. He also sells the dankest kush.
Very nice.
And we'll get into his, his sock later.
Yeah.
Is that where he keeps his dankest kush?
We'll get there. Don't give it away.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I mean...
Cool.
And...
Okay, we've got 2 minutes left. Johnny, let's interrupt you.
Johnny!
What do you got?
So Chad Jockstrap is not the basketball coach. He is not the assistant coach. By all accounts, he's not even really a fan. No, Chad is a grown man who seems to believe that he is still an active member of the high school basketball team. He attends every game in uniform and, of course, in his lucky sock.
Wonderful.
That is brilliant.
I'll let you get back to it.
Okay. And don't forget, you guys can redeem your Kiwi coins. That's our channel points down below the chat window there to make us hydrate, but I recommend you make us talk in a voice instead. Just as how we experienced Johnny Metas and how we've so far heard Ruben and Steve and the Ears Helpline voice. Wolfsbane asks, how does a bystander become an ally and what does that mean functionally?
Good question.
Allies are a different class of threat that normally hunters will gain as they level up. They have an option to gain an ally. They work a bit differently. They are not as unreliable as bystanders. And there are ways in play that a bystander could become an ally based on certain other moves you have. Or indeed, if your hunter levels up and gains an ally, you could say, well, why don't we take this person we met a few mysteries ago who I really liked and make them an ally now? So they've got different motivations that are more helpful. And as of
3,
I'm just trying
2, 1, hands off keyboards.
Cool.
Now, did we get word counts last round? Because I'm curious.
No word counts.
No,
okay.
No, just the first one. So far.
I've been thinking about
Okay, who do you want to start with first, Mike?
I will let the die decide.
Oh, the die of decision making.
It is Ian.
All right.
Okay, talk us through Chicken Wing McGee.
Oh, you're gonna love him. So Chicken Wing McGee is a busybody. He's gonna keep him busy, but with all his various yammerins and mammerins, he might become a victim depending on the mystery. Chicken Wing McGee, first of all, is a local legend. He's likely the mundane's best friend, as I said before. He talks like this, kind of like a local Sam Elliott kind of type, but certainly not as handsome. But he certainly has won. I'll go back to my normal voice for the sake of time. He's certainly won every single chicken wing eating competition in the tri-state area. Now I can't talk. And a glance at his bar tab at the local sports pub could knock your grandma dead. He wears his lucky sock to every single competition, and his closest friends know he wears it every day. Yuck. He knows so little about the supernatural except for his own unique and strange affliction. When he takes off his lucky sock, his curse is freed from its mundane constraints. His arms morph slowly and painfully into crispy, bony chicken wings. The power of flight is the silver lining for his terrifying but tasty curse. After enough run-ins with this man, he might confide in the hunters that eventually his whole body, even with the magic of his lucky sock, will become delicious and crispy. It's a real Southern Fried Princess Mononoke situation. What does he do? He works at that very same bar where he doesn't get paid. He just slowly whittles down his bar tab. What does he look like? Greasy. So greasy. What does he want from the hunters? Money, protection, and help with his terrible, crispy curse.
Honestly, I can't fault a single thing with that. That is a perfect example of a bystander from those restrictions. 10 points.
Crushed it, Ian. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
He's so good.
This is wedding included, best day of my life.
We're telling your wife.
Oh, and I've been there for both.
Okay, the die has determined Cap is next.
Okay, I feel like I need these for this one. Are you ready? Okay.
Exquisite.
Nice.
As I've said before, this is Keith the Helper. He will help our hunters, and his special move is, just trust me, I swear it's not as gross as it looks. Keith is in possession of a wondrous magical item, the Lucky Tube Sock. When this sock is placed over the mouthpiece of Keith's bong and smoke is inhaled, you are filled with long-lasting bliss, a twinge of luck, and a lot of smoke. When inhaling smoke through Keith's lucky sock, roll plus cool. 10 plus, you regain a luck point.
Ooh, spicy.
On a 7 to 9, gain +1 ongoing on cool rolls, but also -1 ongoing on charm rolls.
Yep.
On a miss, you cough your lungs out and you lose a luck point. This can make you doomed. Keith has a problem.
Yeah.
He is completely out of the legal substances that he needs, and he needs the hunter's help to find a new hookup deep within the forest of the Feywild.
Dang.
That is Keith.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jonny looks stunned.
I do not know how
I'm
to
making a
play
lot of
this
moves
game.
tonight, and I like them. I like all my custom moves, even if they don't rhyme.
I'm very impressed with that luck gambling, push your luck smoking move. It's amazing.
Same, honestly.
I mean, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's also a good point, because he's a Fae here, to point out to the audience that bystanders don't necessarily mean random humans. They can be other kinds of
Everyone knows a
creatures.
Fae named Keith.
Oh, David's met a Keith in real life, yeah, so he's backing you up.
Everybody knows that guy. That guy's Keith.
You get 5 points for hitting all the requirements. I think it is not quite as good as Chicken Wing McGee. I'm going to give you 9.5.
That's why he's the GM and I'm just the player, you know?
It's mainly
GM
because
occasionally.
weirdness of the custom problem is not quite as weird.
I love it. I accept.
Okay.
Okay, Jonny, tell us about Chad Jockstrap.
New sentence.
I will reiterate. So Chad is not the basketball coach. He is not the assistant coach. He is not the equipment master. By all accounts, he's not even really a fan. No, Chad is a grown man who seems to believe he is still an active member of the high school basketball team. He attends every game in uniform and, of course, always wearing his lucky sock. You see, back in high school, on the morning of the regional finals, he lost one of his socks in the dryer. But when he played that game with just one sock, the team won in a shutout, which is actually super rare in basketball. I don't know if you don't know that. Since that day, he wears that sock. He wears that sock every time there's something high stakes going on. As that day was over 25 years ago, there's not exactly much of a sock left. His unique ability, I panicked. I just called it hard pass, which is his signature move back in the day, was a pass that invariably found its mark, even around defenders, seemingly bending space. Absolutely anything Chad throws or anything thrown to him will unassailably hit its mark, as long as he's wearing his lucky sock. And as for his problem, Chad is a suspect in the murder of the actual basketball coach, and it seems like a slam dunk, but there's a problem. At the time of the murder, he was at the game, like always. So he needs your help.
Okay. Again, hit all the requirements perfectly. 5 points for that. In terms of coolness, he's pretty great. I love the unique ability. I love the lucky sock. I'm gonna knock you down half a point because that problem is not that bad.
Yeah.
If it's got an alibi, it's not going to be hard to get him off that. So 9.5.
Not to use some of my time to heap adulation on one of the other players, but Cap, I really liked how the inevitability of that problem was only inevitable if you wanted that bong. Him running out of drugs doesn't matter.
True,
but I'm going to make you want that bong.
You want that luck point, man.
Yeah. I want to smoke that weed.
Okay, Sero.
I want to smoke that sock.
This is not where I thought I would be right now. Just gotta follow.
In terms of time, shall we do the surprise round or skip right to round 4?
I don't know. What about you competitors? How much time do you have? How much time do you want to spend with Monster Daddy, Michael Sands?
I'm very interested to know what the surprise round.
I mean, bro.
Okay,
you've called it. It sounds fun.
Okay. Questions for the audience. I'm going to type them up.
So we need from the audience an everyday device that you will find in your home or workshop. We also need a kind of monster.
Yep.
We need a kind of monster.
Like
could we use the were unicorn that we've already got?
It could be a were unicorn, but it could be something else. Yeah.
Can opener,
I mean,
blender,
let's
portable
not
fan.
assume that too much consistency is good.
I have a horrible sense that I know where this round is going.
Uh-oh.
That makes
Red
one
knife, stapler.
Can I just say
Kind
while
of
we're
like
compiling,
the portable fan of those.
Wheel leprechaun.
while we're compiling these, that last round was wonderful, and I want to see those 3 characters together.
Yeah.
Well,
that was a good round.
They could actually be their own hunting party. Could you imagine those 3 guys?
They could actually, yeah. They're supposed to be bystanders, but.
River says, if you think it's heading in the penis fingers direction, Jonny, then we're thinking the same thing. Is that what you were thinking it was going?
That's
my friend. We are not thinking the same thing.
No, that's definitely a shrimp and grits reference.
Unfortunately. We're known for many things. Unfortunately, one of them is penis fingers.
You don't always get
Sero,
to while you're famous.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Portable fan or can opener?
I like portable fan. I think that could be hilarious.
I'm kind of monster wise. We've got Basilisk, Were, Leprechaun, and Nessie. I'm kind of tempted for Nessie for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. The challenge.
And yeah. Do you want to read that, or I got that?
Oh, I can do this one while you're typing. Okay, so this is a quick lightning round. We'll give you 5 minutes. Create a piece of gear, a monster hunting device designed to detect Nessie. The rules are, it must be something one of the hunters designed and built themselves, incorporating a portable fan, and there must be a custom move for when it goes wrong.
Copied into the chat there so you can see that. So there's no word limits, there's no pun requirements or alliteration or anything like that. And we'll give you 5 minutes to come up with a way to turn a portable fan into something that will locate Nessie.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. And it needs a custom move for when it fails. Or for a failure. Yeah. Great.
or in case it could fail, I guess. So, yeah.
No, it does say when it goes wrong.
When it goes wrong? Okay.
So it will go wrong.
So like, when you use this thing, we're designing what happens if you miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, ready, steady, go.
And to talk through the thing, the reason that we're doing gear for the surprise lightning round is that gear in Monster Week is pretty easy. You just kind of define what's important about it, and that's all you need.
Or in this case, a custom move.
Yeah, in this case, it's a custom move. It might be, you might use some tags to inspire you for how it would work. Quite a lot of the weapons and attacks do that. But yeah, it's pretty freeform.
So is there anything you can update us on, Michael, about the Codex of World stuff?
I can, actually.
Yeah, and everyone hydrate.
Yeah, yep. Those who backed the Codex of Worlds will probably be very excited to hear that just a few days ago, I got to look through the release candidate for the stretch goal material, which is going to be released as a big PDF called the Codex Apocrypha. It's got some really lovely new art in there to go with it, and I think everyone will be pretty excited with that.
Yay!
I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but I would say not very long. So if you backed it, that will be coming to your inbox soonish. If not, it will be available on DriveThruRPG. And yeah, it includes some pretty cool stuff in it. I think the most fun bits for me is Marek's case closed system, which is a way to like do a summarized version of a Monster of the Week mystery. So if you want to say, since the last time we played, the hunters were off doing this, and you can like resolve it in just a few rolls and get an idea what happened. So if it was like, so you can kind of do short kind of things to tell you what's happened since last time. And the other one that I think people will enjoy is my Wait, Monsters Are Real setting scenario thing, which is based on if you're just a regular person facing monsters who might become a monster hunter if you survive. So it's more of a survival horror style thing. And if your character makes it to the end, you can then use what happened to help generate your hunter for a Monster of the Week game.
Yeah, and that was something that we streamed over on Dice Legends, I think almost a year ago now.
It would have been about that. Yeah,
I got to play Cheese. That was my character. I guess he was a tiny bit. Cheese survived, yes, surprisingly. Yeah. I must say, I have never played a character because I also played. You recommended we play 2 characters because there would likely be a lot of death. My other character ended up with 2 tampons stuck up her nostrils.
I can't remember why that was, but
because I know she had allergies.
She have nosebleeds or something?
She might have had nosebleeds. I know there was allergies. They got really annoyed with how she kept sneezing, and I did a voice like
vampires.
this.
Yeah.
So they just went whoop, and I must say that has never happened before, but it is a good use of first aid type use of tampons, I guess. We're down to a minute, competitors. I don't think we'll check in with you. I think this will be a surprise for everyone, except for everyone. I mean, I'm trying to think if I've ever made gear for any of my games. I've not really made any specific devices or anything. What about you guys? Have you made anything specifically like this for your streams?
I've come up with custom ones for a hunter. I should have something like this, which I think is quite a frequent one.
We've had quite a lot of like I'm very kind to my players, as I'm sure they'll agree with you that we have a lot of wouldn't it be cool if type stuff.
Hands up.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know what I just did.
Excellent.
No idea. I didn't hear anything
Okay.
anyone said. I hope you were kind.
Roll that decision dice for who's
Okay.
first.
First is Jonny. What do you got for us?
All right. This device is called the Lil Fan Boat.
Aww.
In fact, at first glance, it's little more than a small pontoon boat powered by a 4-inch USB-powered fan. But the blades of that fan are made not from plastic, but from the dried fins and severed fangs of a monster said to be a distant relative of the beast currently known as the Loch Ness Monster. When powered by this fan, and only by this fan, the boat will drift inevitably, if gradually, towards where Nessie is at that moment. However, these monstrous leavings came from the bodies of Nessie's siblings, and Nessie has a mother. On a miss, the fan emits an uncontrollable and unstoppable whistle, and a mother always knows her children's call. Until you can find a way to stop it, you will be unstoppably tracked by Super Nessie.
Nice.
Yes, that's a Super Nintendo joke.
Nice.
Oh, very good.
Okay, next up is Ian.
Okay, the Whirlpoolinator 9000. This is a portable fan at the center of a large chunk of cobbled together machinery that has been turned into a water pump. It must be placed at the bottom of the lock in which your Nessie is occupying. It creates. It has created a large water pump that makes a big whirlpool that makes Nessie unable to control their movements. The custom move is keep away from water. Dang it! The hunter that made this forgot that you shouldn't submerge appliances. Any hunters within the water will take harm anytime they roll a mixed success or a miss, or any other time the keeper thinks it's necessary. Hunters can act under pressure to fix the device, though it certainly will put them in harm's way to do so.
Very nice. Cool.
Wow.
And last up is Cap. What do you got
I'm so
for us?
happy. Welcome to my document. I went on a much smaller scale. This is the Loch and Load.
Nice.
Hand, close, revealing. Portable fan and mister. You know, those travel Disney World sort of fan and misters. Filled to the brim with loch water and enchanted kelp. When the mister is triggered, is pulled, a fine mist releases, revealing the leftover slime trail of the elusive kelpie. You have to roll sharp when you trigger this mist. On a 10+, the trail is revealed and easily followed. On a 7 to 9, trail is long and difficult. Take -1 ongoing to sharp rolls as you are lost in the fog of the loch. On a miss, and this is the best one, the mister unscrews and drops at your feet, spreading the shape-changing magic of the kelpie onto you. For the next 24 hours, you are a majestic water horse and have the undying need to run and swim free.
Beautiful.
Okay, wonderful. I'm not going to fully score these, but I think the Lock and Load is definitely the one that stands out for turning a hunter into a kelpie for 24 hours. That's brilliant.
Clip it and thank you.
Okay. Now, here's the one you have been waiting for. Round 4 is the Monster Challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. For the audience, can we have a motivation and goal for this monster and an attack method for this monster?
This is a bit more not a sneaky question this is more a helpful question for the
we can't start typing before this.
No.
I don't believe you, first of all.
You would hear if I was typing.
Oh, no, I don't
Online
believe you that this is a
bullying
helpful question. I don't believe this is going to be a helpful question for us.
So far we have the attack for online bullying. Interesting. So potentially
Oh, boy.
something cyber related. Dixon says it's a were-unicorn, so looking for
Is it
virgins
though?
and killing non-virgins with its horn and trampling. Maybe rainbow lasers from its horn.
Yeah.
Drug says the monster is an emo teenager.
What
The monster was within us all this whole time.
What if all of these things were true?
Listen, Ian, you don't have to murky the waters anymore.
Yeah, so we need a motivation for this monster and or its goal, and an attack method. So River says goal to flood the earth.
Don't make it easy on
we're
them by tying it to their previous entries.
No, do that.
JR says, no, it's hunting virgins. The sluts are safe.
Oh, God.
Hypnotize, to have quiet. That's a good motivational goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like the monster's
That's
an emo teenager. The motivation is understood to be whatever. Jeez. Want to be left alone, Mom.
You got anything in there that's appealing to you, Mike? Or are you too annoyed with the audience?
No. I'm just struggling to decide. The goal. I like quiet as the motivation and goal. I think that's an interesting one. But now my question is, do we go with online bullying or rainbow lasers as the attack?
I mean, rainbow lasers.
Okay, rainbow lasers it is.
Okay, so...
Oh, I'd forgotten the requirements I put for the monster. They're very
hilarious.
Okay, so for the monster that you're creating, so you create a monster that's a new twist on a modern cryptid or movie monster. So does that mean they come up with the type of monster?
Yeah. As long as it's based on a cryptid or movie monster. Yeah.
So its goal is they want quiet. It must be tiny. It must have 3 magical powers. It must have a custom rolled move. Must have an attack using rainbow lasers. And each title or sequence in the write-up must begin with the letter that ended the previous title or sentence. The very first letter of the monster name and the very last letter of the write-up must also be the same. Oh my God, Mike, you are evil.
I need to hear that again.
Yeah, one more time.
That's a real tongue twister on there.
Okay,
I'll copy that in.
Each sentence has to start with the letter that ended the sentence before, essentially.
Okay.
And it's got to wrap around. Okay. So the very last letter has got to be the first letter of its name.
And you're going to give us a week and a half, right?
Very last letter is the first letter of the monster's name?
Yep.
Of the first thing you write. The last letter is the first letter. Yeah.
God, how many minutes should we give them? Is this a 15-minute one? Yeah. Okay, 15. That sounds fine, doesn't it?
Sorry, I just want to make sure I have everything. The other restrictions were tiny, 3 magic powers, custom roll move, right?
Yep. And rainbow lasers.
Rainbow lasers.
And wants quiet.
Obviously, rainbow lasers. Yeah,
cool.
And it wants quiet as its goal. Does it make sense?
I'm so excited to hear what you two come up with for something that both wants quiet and attacks with rainbow lasers.
Yeah.
Lasers
and is a classic monster reimagined, right?
And tiny.
Classic. Okay. All right.
A tiny classic monster reimagined.
Oh, well, look at that. Mike's trolling you guys. He says easy.
Easy. Yeah.
Not even to our faces.
Thank you, Michael Sands in the chat. Thank you, Michael _Sands.
Good to know that it was easy.
Okay, so you guys...
Oh, boy. I mean, no.
You guys ready to go?
Okay. I guess.
Okay. Ready, steady, go. 15 minutes on the clock. Oh, shit. I don't have the timer tuning up on that one. Let's see if I can copy that over real quick.
And each sentence has to begin with the last letter of the sentence before it.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Oh, God.
Yeah, quick, get on remind. Oh, shit, I can't do that.
Does that mean that our monster name has to end with M so that the next line can be motivation?
I think we can give you a break on rules terms.
Thank you so much.
Okay. This is the timer, audience. Michael Sands, you have to do a voice.
I can't really do voices.
Try an Australian voice.
I could, but I mean, I feel like if I try and do another accent, I'll just offend a nation.
Fair enough.
Let's hear you're American. How's your American?
I'm certainly terrible.
I want to point out this request has come from Ian.
Yeah, I see that. I feel like that's misunderstanding who's giving out the terrible rules that you have to follow.
You came up with all the terrible rules on the document. I came up with the voice idea. So, well, if you don't think you can do it, I will give those Kiwi coins back to Ian. How does that sound? So he can pick on Cap or Jonny.
It was worth it just to get the. I need to focus.
Okay, so what do we need to talk about with monsters here, Mike? What will our audience need to know?
Okay, so, I mean, we've kind of been through a bunch of the things in terms of talking about all the other threats. So monsters are the main one. Every mystery, there'll be a monster or monsters at the end of it that the hunters have to defeat or otherwise deal with. One of the special things about Monster of the Week is that monsters have a weakness, which is a thing that you need to do, otherwise you can't fully defeat it. So it might be something simple, like a vampire needing a stake through the heart, or it might be something complicated, like a weird magic ritual you have to do to banish something or something like that. Either way, if you don't do that thing, whatever the weakness is, the monster can't be fully defeated. You might be able to, like, blow it up, but it will come back, that sort of thing. So that's kind of one of the things that structures a mystery, is that you're going to spend a lot of time with your hunters figuring out what the monster's weakness is so you can then use it and finally stop it. Everything else is pretty straightforward. You'll give it some attacks and dangerous magic powers and things like that so that it's a challenge. I think that's about all there is to it.
Yeah. Have you had any really fun monsters that you'd like to recount?
I mean, I'm sure I have, but none really kind of come to mind at the moment. It's one of the things that's quite hard for me with questions like that is, like, these days I don't play Monster of the Week very often. You know, I wrote it 15 years ago, and like the bulk of the work, you know, like all the playing I did then kind of left me like not really wanting to play it that much more. So these days I kind of do demos and things and play test new stuff, but not much beyond that. I did have fun at our local game convention in Wellington in January. I ran a Monster of the Week game called Lurkers Below about a supernatural explanation for my city's current water infrastructure woes. They had to fight some strange underground chaos ghosts and that were pretty neat, just because they didn't really behave like anything that I think the group were prepared for.
And that was a very relevant topic for the locals. The flooding and the leaking and the
For those outside New Zealand, basically the entire country's water infrastructure is in a state of near collapse at the moment, and so far almost nothing is being done about it.
Yeah, anyway, fun times here in New Zealand. Don't worry, additional David, if you're still here. You'll probably be fine. You know you're in Auckland.
Yep. I see a question from Wolfsbane 9557. The inspiration for the monster on the cover of the book. Now, whether this is the old soft cover or the new hardcover, the inspiration came from a combination of Fred Hicks at Evil Hat Productions, who does most of the art direction for Monster of the Week, and the artist himself. And the cover for the soft cover was Eric Quigley, and this new hardcover one, that's Wanakoa, who built this strange biomechanical thing. But yeah, Fred is just absolutely fantastic art director, and the credit for all the awesome art in the Monster of the Week books is largely rests with his directions and the artist's talents. I get to make a few suggestions, but I think that the bulk of the work happens elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if my mystery and the codex of, what did you call it? The
Apocrypha. Oh,
Apocrypha.
yes.
If my mystery has any art, so
it does. It's really cool.
Yay!
Remind me after this, and I'll send you a copy of the pre-release version. I think you've got a right to have a look for it.
Yay! Can I? Don't remember the title
don't
of
share
my
it with
mystery.
anyone.
No, I wasn't going to share it. I was just going to say, I was going to ask if I could share the title of my mystery, but I
go
remember
for it.
what it is. Yeah,
I
so my mystery is called
the
Dreaming
thing.
Army. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, so should we check in on someone? Who should we try first?
Sorry, I just saw one of the names of one of these monsters.
Seat of my pants right now. Seat of my pants.
Okay. Who do you want to pick there?
We will go for Cap.
Oh, why would you do such a thing? As I'm writing probably the most inappropriate sentence I've ever written in my entire life.
Pounded by plastic. Wow.
Pounded by plastic. The first thing you'll notice is that I have not even... you'll notice I haven't even tried to do the first and last letter thing. That's for if I have extra time. This monster is a conglomeration of possessed troll dolls. A better name will come to me eventually. Its powers are centered around getting all of the troll dolls in one place, in which they become a golem of sorts, an amalgamation of all these trolls, which is where we get pounded by plastic, one of its attack moves, which will be less inappropriate than it sounds. But I like the idea of a monster being a lot of little pieces that form together into a big piece. That's kind of fun for me. No minions involved. They kind of make their own minions. So I'm having fun with that, but I'm panicking. So if you could go to the next person.
Cool. Next person is Ian. What do you got for us, Ian?
Oh, I'm working on Garthula the Vibes Pyre. He just wants quiet, man.
Lovely.
Yep. I just entered the custom move phase of my planning here, and that's I feel like the most complex one. So I'm dialing in here. While I have the floor, question for the judges: the powers, weakness, attacks, armor. I can't really figure out a good way to do the last first word or letter situation there. Is that exempt from that rule?
Your title should feed into the next sentence. So no, it is not. But the word powers and the word weakness, they are exempt.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's good. Awesome.
Cool. Okay, that leaves Jonny last. What are you building?
Going a little crazy here. I am building Rumpelstiltskin Candescent, who is a under 1 foot tall imp from the bygone era of the mid-1970s who was obsessed with the incandescent bulb and is furious at the nation's move to fluorescence and LEDs.
Love it.
Wonderful.
He has decided to turn their power against a world that's left him behind and attempt to use those bulbs to inflict as much pain on you as they inflict on him.
Wonderful. Let's leave you to it then.
That's awesome. You guys have got just over 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, shit.
Don't forget that your motivational goal is that they want quiet. Now, let's segue off to something else here, because something new that was introduced in Codex of Worlds, Mike, was villains.
Yeah.
You want to briefly talk about those?
Yeah, so villains are an addition Merrick made for his Monster Marches setting, I believe. And they're basically human antagonists. So not monsters, but people who are working towards evil and that the hunters will have to deal with. So they're kind of a space that didn't really get filled in Monster of the Week before that. And for that setting in particular, it kind of needed to have evil humans who you'd have to face, because one of the issues he's dealing with that setting is all about is kind of colonialism and being an outcast from society. So it kind of fitted in quite well there.
I think another good type, another good time you could use a villain would be if you've got a phenomenon.
They could definitely work in concert with a weird effect. And Merrick's actually here's a secret. Merrick's working on a small little additional rules thing, which has rules for modern villains and modern haunts. So you can use those ideas from some of those codex settings in the default kind of contemporary world Monster Week setting. So that is coming, but again, I'm not sure exactly when. Soonish. That'll probably be released as just a little PDF with just those pieces in.
Would that be available to the people who back the Kickstarter, or
no? This is separate to this is something we kind of came up with after the crowdfunder was all over, so it's not included in the stretch goals, I believe. It's possible I'm wrong about that, but I think they're a separate little thing.
Yeah. Okay. 2 minutes, guys. Yeah, so Wolfsbane said that Evil Humans is kind of the Monsters Playbook's whole vibe. Yeah, so
we have huge chunks where I forgot for months that I was supposed to have monsters.
Well, honestly,
humans are the monsters after all.
Yeah, and you can define humans as monsters. Like if you want to have like a slasher type monster who is technically human, but also acts like a slasher from one of those survival horror films. It's perfectly doable using the monster rules. The villains are kind of a bit more like selfish and ambitious people who don't care that they're doing evil, rather than as a monster as something that preys on people or has got some horrible plan.
1 minute, guys. We still have some time after this, won't we?
I think we might as well throw that bonus round in.
Yeah, you reckon we should throw the bonus round in? I mean, we could give them more than 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah, although it's pretty. They don't need to do that much. So yeah, definitely more than 5 minutes though. That'd be 10 or 15, I think.
So yeah, so after this, one more bonus round, guys. Yeah. Then you can go to the bathroom.
Question for the audience: please pick a region somewhere in the world.
Limiting it to the planet Earth. Oh, time's up. Startled even me.
This is something. I don't know what this is.
It's up.
I have to say, I did spend most of my time on the last requirement, so I hope that I did this. It was very
this
important.
This may be a pile of nothing, but we'll see.
This will at least be a certain kind of work of art.
The die says Cat first.
And the dice love me tonight. I'm so fucking lucky. All right. I would like you to meet the Rainbow Bites. Got a pun in there. It happened. Before we get into this, I didn't even try to do the last letter thing. I had no time to do that. That's not here. Deduct my points, please. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Different armor for if they are singular or if they are the connected golem, which we will get into. Their motivation: devour all noise. That is because each of these rainbow bites possess a pair of enormous ears made of living plastic. A noise is above a whisper, and rage the rainbow bite, sending them into a bloody fury. I got 2 attacks in here. When they are alone, they have the rainbow bite. 1 harm, messy, superheated. I imagine them opening their little mouths. These bright rainbows come out, and then you get chomped. And then the golem has a rather painful attack called Pounded by Plastic, which I guess, Sero, that's for you.
Don't pin this straight on me.
The golem itself has 3 powers. I think I missed the last hydrate, so I'm going to go ahead and chug for a minute. The power of friendship. When each individual troll doll is in the same location, they can combine into a humanoid golem of intense strength. Safety in numbers. When combined, the troll doll golem can only be harmed by activating its weakness. When the always a collector. When the golem makes a lone hunter unstable, that hunter is captured and becomes a set piece in the troll dolls collection. You see, I named them troll dolls first and then went back and fixed some of the rainbow bites, but not all of them. Weaknesses. Constant loud sounds disrupt the golem's form, making the singular forms vulnerable to smashing. We have the custom move, Rainbow Connection. The golem's mouth extends, releasing a burst of rainbow light. Any hunters who are caught in the light roll plus cool. 10 plus, you are immune to the light's effect. 7 to 9, the light's too bright. You said stop typing as I wrote that. 1 harm, blinding. On a miss, you are stunned by the multicolored beauty and are stunned. Open for attack. You see the panic and the weakness.
No,
but you know we have a bones of something here.
I think you've got everything except the incredibly
special
difficult
rule.
letter connections.
Yeah.
So
I'll take my lumps.
Yep. I'm not going to deduct more than 1 point for that because it is so incredibly hard.
That's very kind of you.
In terms of coolness, I will give it a 4. That is pretty awesome.
Oh, thank you so
like
much.
the combination of tiny creepy dolls and giant killer rainbow golem thing.
Thank you.
Next up is Jonny.
Okay. So my monster is Rumpelstiltskin Candescent.
Yep.
Motivation to have quiet. Tall as your average toilet plunger. Rumpelstiltskin Candescent is an imp from a bygone era of the mid-1970s. Since then, he's basked as much as possible in the warm, glowing, warming glow of the incandescent bulb. Because of the world's recent departure from his preferred light source, he's been driven insane, especially the incessant buzz of the fluorescent bulb, the offensive pinprick of the LED, and of course, the halogen nightmare. Every light must be as beautiful as he knows it can be, or he will inflict untold destruction. His powers first. No, you shut up. Powered by the very light bulbs that he's sworn vengeance against, Rumpelstiltskin Candescent is able to pull light from any LED, halogen, or fluorescent bulb and attack you with the complete spectrum of their light. Take 2 harm, ignore armor. Really, really dark, second power. Kind of as an inversion of his other power, Rumpelstiltskin Candescent can also push all the lights back inside those unincandescent bulbs, rendering all modern light sources unusable and possibly enveloping windowless rooms, his ideal hunting grounds, in perfect blackness. Finally, see what I want you to see. Every time you look at Rumpelstiltskin Candescent, you must roll sharp. Perception of him is based on light, after all, and he can bend that light to show your stupid human eyes something other than his gorgeous, sleepy form. 10 plus, man, you're ugly. You can see him perfectly, and you also get +1 on any kick some ass rolls. 7 to 9, somewhere around here. Even though you know vaguely where he is slightly concealed. All kick some ass rolls are dropped down 1 rank. 6 or less, kind of cute, aren't you? Abstractions of the light make you believe you're looking at an adorable puppy. You cannot roll kick some ass against him until someone else is able to successfully convince someone on another hunter, which ends with R, which is what his name starts with.
Yeah, no, I saw you've got every letter connecting.
Wow.
Great stuff.
I mean, wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So full 5 points for meeting the rules. Coolness level.
Because I'm proud and I noticed it, there is 1 sentence where I did break my streak. I would not be able to accept this.
Give it to
I'll still give you the point. That's pretty good work. Coolness, I will give him 4.5, so a total of 9.5.
Pretty fucking cool.
He's pretty fucking cool. Yep.
I now really want to play.
And lastly, Ian.
Okay. Hello. I didn't write nearly as much as Jonny because I had a tough time with the letters thing, but I think I mostly did it right. But I have here Garthula, the Vibes Pyre. Motivation, just wants quiet, man. This tiny little hippie vampire is wearing a brown fringed vest and rose-colored circular glasses. So enamored with beautiful sights is he that he needs absolute silence anytime there's a rainbow. His magic powers are wacky vibes, color draining fangs, because he's too small to really hurt you. He just drains the color out of you. And he's really strong for a tiny little guy. His weakness is garishly bad vibes. Had to get that G there. You have to tell a bummer of a story. Again, just trying to get these letters in here.
I'm so proud of you, Ian.
Thank you. Yo, is that a double rainbow laser? That's 4 harm, close, color drains. He's actually draining the power away from you. 2 armor, 8 harm. His ability, his power, his special move, is a long, strange trip. So, like, when Garthula activates his wacky vibes, you're going to need to roll plus cool. Look, unlike a 10 plus, your vibes are unaffected. Damn, man. On a 7 and 9, the keeper switches 2 of your ratings for the rest of the mystery. Yo. Then, on a miss, all of your ratings shift 1 down. Charm becomes weird. Damn, that's brutal, man. So you better not start running.
I mean, wow. Wow.
Exquisite.
Yeah. I did notice there's a couple of letter matches that failed. I'm not sure if I'm going to penalize you for that because it's only like 2 or 3. And
I tried.
You did put in a brave
You
effort.
did great.
In terms of coolness, I love Garthula, 5 points.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I'll knock you half a point for a couple of missed things. So 9.5.
Jonny
Cool.
We need Garthula and Keith. Garthula and Keith need to hang out.
For the very concept of the vibes pyre alone.
I mean, so good. The shifting of stats is very good. That's unique. I like that a lot.
The annoying thing is...
No, that's not what I'm about.
I'm not about sucking blood, man. I'm about just having a good time.
The annoying thing is that stat swapping thing. I literally have written it into a mystery that Ian is going to see at some point, hopefully one day. And I'm like, damn, you stole my idea.
Threat, almost.
Yeah, that is a threat.
Well, for God's sake, don't say anything more about it.
No, this is something me and Ian are actually working on along with Quinn. So and Mr. Ray, I just haven't gotten mine in yet.
Yeah. You're the boss, and you're the one that hasn't met the deadline.
I've had bad vibes for the last month or so, man. So I've been hit with the Garthulas. Yeah, I do need a bung sock. I'll look into that.
Look at this cute little baby blue Shetland pony.
Okay.
Listen, we're going to make a killing on bong socks after this, I'm telling you.
Lucky bong socks.
Sero, we've got a few options for where. I'm liking Mongolia, Hawaii, the Canadian Maritime Mountains, and the Mojave Desert. How about you? Which one? I mean, there's Bermuda Triangle, but that may be a bit too way out. And French catacombs.
Why don't we let them pick like they did with the bystanders?
Yeah. Okay.
What are my options?
Okay.
Okay. So a region of the world. We've got subarctic, Mongolia, Hawaii, the Canadian Maritimes, catacombs in France, the Mojave Desert, and the Bermuda Triangle.
I'm going to take catacombs if nobody's going to fight me.
French catacombs for you?
French.
We're not here to fight.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know why I take that, but
this is a special bonus round. You have to create a mystery.
Fuck me.
It takes place in one of the suggestions the audience has made. However, it must also incorporate everything you've already just designed.
Okay.
No, don't worry. We're not going to get you to write up everything. You have to have mystery concept and a countdown, and some other core threats that it needs. That not the whole thing, just that kind of basics.
Okay.
But you've already created a lot
everything
of stuff.
we've made.
It's got to have everything you made today, and for the other essential details, you can just list them. You don't need to write them up. So if it needs like a giant horse, just put in there's a giant horse. That'll do.
Okay.
The location as well needs to be used because that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's set in that region.
I'm so excited.
All right. I've copied it into the chat, all the requirements if you need it.
I need to catch
How
my
long
breath.
should we give them? First, hydrate everyone.
Yeah, sure.
We're going to need
water.
20 minutes for this one, do you think? Or should we put it under pressure and leave it at 15?
15,
Countdown.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Cool.
Oh,
15.
Rosie suggested 5 minutes.
Oh no, my internet died.
I think audience suggestions require the audience member also does the task for timing.
I like that. Yeah. See how you like it.
Nice.
Okay. You guys,
See how much fun you
ready?
think it is. I think it's so fun.
It's one of the suggestions, not the one that Kat picked, right? Like,
Yeah. You can each pick your own one.
All right, I'm using the Bermuda Triangle then.
On your marks, get set, go. 15 minutes, folks. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun,
It's
dun,
tons of
dun.
time.
Some mystery making. Should we talk about countdowns first, Mike?
Yeah. So countdown is basically a list of what would happen if the hunters don't stop whatever bad thing is happening. So it'll basically start from the moment the hunters turn up on the scene, and if they just decide to go to a cafe and hang out drinking coffee and eating donuts all day, what would happen? What will the monster do? Who will it kill? What horrible magic apocalypse will affect the world? And what it's for is so when you're running the mystery as a keeper, if the hunters things go wrong for them or they miss a clue or something like that, you can look at the countdown and use that to say, okay, because of what they've messed up, this is the thing that's going to happen next as the monster tries to make all these things happen as they planned. So it's kind of a little bit of a weird one because most times none of those things will happen because the hunters will get involved and mess up whatever plans are out there. But they still are quite a useful way so you can think of what is going on off screen as you're playing. And I think that's the kind of the best way to think about it is like it'll give you ideas for what else is going on aside from what the hunters are doing.
It's the big bad evil guy's plan, essentially. I do this, then I do that, and then world domination or profit.
Yeah, and you set it down in 6 steps, like getting worse and worse, just to kind of give you a sense of escalation for if things go bad. In terms of the rest of it, like a mystery is basically made up of that countdown, the basic idea for it that you come up with, and a bunch of threats, which are all the things we've been making up today. So there'll be the monster, any minions it's got, the locations that important things are likely to happen, and a bunch of bystanders who the hunters will meet around these places. And you just kind of use that to set up the situation that you know in your head of what's going on. If you take the kind of supernatural style thing, like when they roll into town, what do the hunters find? What are people up to? And then you can essentially, whatever the hunters do, you can look at all those bits and pieces to inspire what the reaction of the places, people, monsters will be based on what the hunters did. And that's how you play Monster of the Week. It's got the idea of playing to find out, where you don't kind of set down what's going to happen during the mystery. You just kind of set up the situation and let everything happen in reaction to what the players have their hunters do.
Yeah, and I quite enjoy that because this is actually how I played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And then I started playing Monsters of the Week, and I was like, hang on, this is how I run Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, no, it was the same.
I let them run around and do their shenanigans, and I react, kind of thing.
Yeah. It was the same for me when I first played Apocalypse World, which was when I was writing Monster of the Week. And kind of came across the way Vincent Baker had described how to run that game. And that was kind of how I ran games anyway. So it definitely kind of chimed with me. And also there were things in that game that were solutions to problems I'd been having with the previous version of Monster of the Week, which is why it ended up being Powered by the Apocalypse game.
I don't know if you've had a chance to look over the Dagger Heart system, because they say they are heavily inspired by Monster of the Week as well. And yeah, and when you look at it, it does seem to be the case. I'm not really familiar with many other Powered by the Apocalypse games, so I'm not sure if they do ratings the same way or the...
I think Monster of the Week follows the kind of core Apocalypse World idea for like how the dice and ratings and stuff work. And I think a lot of those earlier Powered by the Apocalypse games are similar, like Monster Hearts, Dungeon World, The Sprawl, kind of all kind of kept that. But there's definitely ones that go further out and do different things. One I quite like is Undying by Paul Riddle, which is like a love letter to Vampire the Masquerade.
Okay.
But it's diceless. The only resource you have is your blood points. So you basically got a little stack of blood points. And if you want to do anything exceptional or vampire-y, you have to spend them, which gives it quite a different vibe to something where you've got abilities you can roll and hope you do well.
Yeah, so you can, in a sense, if you want to do it, you can do it. You just need the blood.
It's just a matter of how much you feel like spending. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So there's kind of no limit to where you can go. even if like a lot of those games stick to that core.
Rosie has said in the chat, a countdown example is 1, Rosie makes you hydrate. 2, he continues to make you hydrate. 3, you have to pee now, but you have to keep going. 4, Rosie has found a way around the countdown. 5, water escapes. Hang on, what's 6? I don't like Rosie, isn't there supposed to be 6?
But 6 is standing water.
Yeah. But I mean, in essence, that's a countdown, right?
Yeah. And they don't have to be huge, apocalyptic, and world-ending either. You can make them very specific to very very specific to the story that you're creating.
Yeah, I do think it's good to make the worst one quite bad, but that might depend on the scale of what you're doing. So if it's like a haunted house story, like the final point might be that the house gets sucked into oblivion. Or if you're doing like an alien invasion story, it might be the world is conquered by aliens.
Yeah.
Either way, it's kind of like the worst possible thing that could happen, but that depends on the starting point.
Yeah. The smallest scale I've seen it used on is on the outcome of whether or not you save a specific person. So it's all the things that happens to the person right up to there being no point of no return for that person to come back, basically, which I thought was very interesting, and it makes it more specifically focused on a human for feelings and sympathy and that kind of thing.
It's an interesting question. Have you had a countdown reach midnight? I don't think I have, but I've definitely had mysteries where the hunters failed to stop something. So even if the countdown didn't reach midnight, like something terrible was still going on that came back later. But I don't think I've ever had an actual failure to prevent that initial worst possible problem.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've reached midnight either, but a lot of bad stuff has happened. Yes. What do you mean I have, Dixon? Has I? I'm not sure. Oh, it was Mr. Ray. Thank you. Not me. Wow. So we know someone who has made midnight happen. On my stream? Mr. Ray did it on my stream? I don't remember this, Dixon. My memory's going. It was my fault. What? Should we check in with these guys, or should we leave it? No? Should we leave it a surprise for the audience? I mean,
I feel like leaving it for this one because it's the most complicated one of trying to get everything.
Yeah,
together,
fair enough.
So
and Dixon has said that I let people pay to advance the countdown, so it would have been on stream. There we go. Oh, it was the fun fair. Oh wow. Okay, I really don't remember how that happened. I remember why, because I ran 3 streams over that weekend. Jonny ran one, Ian ran one, and Mr. Ray ran one.
Mine was a poop joke.
Yours was a poop joke, yes. I made up the Twitch overlays for Johnny's one, and I had this little impish, like a devil thing, and he said, "Can you put this fart emote behind its butt?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, okay." And I put fart noises in the opening music. So, yeah.
Appreciate you, Sarah.
I appreciate you, Jonny. Oh, that was fun. I got to play Steve on that one. Just 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes to finish creating your mystery. I get a feeling if I'm going to be invited on anyone else's podcast or stream, really bad things are going to happen to me. Because of what I've put you guys through today.
They volunteered, didn't they?
Yeah, they did volunteer, but they didn't exactly know how difficult or nervous they would be. Dixon says, "Don't worry, Sero, you'll deserve it."
I'll say too that actually one of my design goals when writing Monster of the Week was that mysteries are quite quick to do. And I'd say that when I'm writing one up for play with a regular group, like 15 or 20 minutes, you can get away with that, even starting from scratch, as long as you're willing to make up some of the bits you missed along the way. So, yeah, a certain amount of improvisational skill is needed.
Yeah.
But you can kind of manage it with quite a minimal set of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some keepers who've just written a few sentences, and that's the whole thing. I know we had Susanna on a couple of months ago, and she basically makes the monster in a countdown, and that's about it. Everything else is whatever happens in the moment.
Yeah, and I think that if you know the system reasonably well and are happy to kind of think on your feet, you can make it work that way. And my advice to anyone who doesn't feel like they can improvise and keep on their feet that way is that it just takes practice. It's not like a skill you have to have. You can practice it and learn it.
Yeah,
I thought I was terrible at improving until I started running Monster of the Week, and I was like, I could do this.
Yeah,
and eventually I got pretty dang good at it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few core things that are quite helpful, like not wanting every single thing you come up with to be perfect. Like if you let go of that, it just makes everything a lot easier. And quite often, if you come up with an idea and you think, oh, well, this idea is a bit boring, if you go with it anyway, often the rest of the group won't find it as boring as you thought it was because they're not coming from your thought process, I guess.
And they'll also say things or add things to it to make it even better. I find that a lot of players will start pondering like out loud. They're like, oh, what is this monster about? Does it do this thing? And I'm like sitting here going, no, it doesn't, but it does now.
Yeah.
Johnny's got to look like I can tell you stories.
Oh, yes. I have a player who is pretty notorious for being like, oh, what if it's like this? And the rest of the players are like, that would be really dangerous. And now you've just given him that.
Yep. I have a play like that too. It's great. It's like, it's very helpful.
They don't know that you didn't maybe plan that in the first place. Maybe I was always thinking of doing that.
Totally. You totally were. 1 minute, 30 seconds.
I'm fucked.
Must be nice.
To be fucked.
Yeah, hey, what? We're all in the same boat, I think. Pun intended. You'll see why later.
Wolfsbane asks, how does phenomenon factor into mysteries?
Oh, okay. So phenomenon mysteries, basically it's an alternative to a monster for a mystery. So this is to get like more of an X-Files or Fringe style of game. So they're basically a different kind of threat you can use instead of a monster, where it's some weird thing is happening that needs to be stopped instead of a monster that needs to be stopped. And it's got its own threat type and its own motivations, but otherwise works largely the same, including having a weakness, which in this case is the thing you have to do to stop the phenomenon. Or stop it being harmful.
Mitigate or reverse. Yeah. 20 seconds. I should run this again. Do you think I'll have any volunteers?
I would actually do this again because I hate myself.
100%. I'll be prepared next time.
Hands up!
Let me guess. Me.
I don't know. He's rolling a dice.
Here we go.
I mean alphabetically, bud.
No, Jonny comes first this time.
Okay.
I feel like I ran a mile.
Me too, man. I feel like I did one time. There's a story in my past of I was practicing some kind of a presentation and my watch beeped and was like, "Hey, I see that you're riding a bike. Keep it up." Like, no, I'm just thinking really hard. So, all right, I did my best, y'all. Concept. In sunny Hawaii, the derelict creationist resort Noah's Ark has been overrun with animals since it was initially abandoned. But now, pairs of animals have begun arriving that don't seem to exist on Earth. In truth, the excavation of the plumbing allowed the king of beasts to enter our realm, and now that he has access to the beasts of this world and others, he can transform these islands into...
Do a voice.
Oh, God damn it. I'm so mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it easy for myself and just do Dockers.
Oh my God. Everybody just said Dockers. That's so funny.
Thank you so much. Now he can transform these islands into the staging grounds to finally end the age of humanity. Hook, an annihilation-style expedition is being put together to go into what they're calling the Noah's Ark, right? And you've been brought in because some of the monsters you've become known to hunt resemble the ones of these not quite animals that have been showing up. And then my countdown is just, it's trash, dude. It's just not there. I got a normal animal will get into the city. Maybe a monster makes its way in. And then for reasons that'll become a little bit clear in a bit, a key person in town could be turned into a werebeast, changed from a bystander into a minion. That'd be wild. Then I'd spend some time trying to make sure that I could have all the other things like still make sense. So Chet Shetland is now a tourist who's been sent into town in his human form to try to bring more life forms into the Noah's Ark. He was doubly summoned here as the pull of the place was strong enough to reach him all the way where he lives in Southern California, which is like a really nice place to totally love. Chad Jockstrap is the entrepreneur who like initially put the Noah's Ark Resort into motion. He thought his lucky sock would bring his business success. Unfortunately, that lucky sock's mate wasn't lost. It was sent somewhere, and it brought something back with it. And Lil Fanboat is now a small propeller plane that will eventually guide the players to to the King of Beast. It was originally going to be Rumpelstiltskin to his mountain lair, but on a miss. Now it will definitely crash.
Excellent. Okay,
into the Noah's Ark.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take a couple of points off for incomplete countdown and the fact that you didn't get Rumpelstiltskin and Candescent in there. But I think mystery concept is solid, so 5 points for that. Total of 8.
Thank you so much.
I think that's in terms of what you had to work with. You made it really work together in a way that I could not have imagined.
I cannot stress enough that all of those things took place in so much different worlds.
Yeah, that's very clear. Excellent. Okay, the die says next up is Cap.
Cap, I think you're muted, buddy.
I'm muted.
I'm so muted. Don't mind my formatting. It's not great. Here we go. Deep beneath Paris in the Bone Line Catacombs, a Terran reality has opened into a realm of eternal darkness. This magical darkness is bleeding into our world, absorbing all light it touches. This is a phenomena mystery. I love those.
Cool.
Our hook, tourists have been getting lost in the catacombs for days on end, saying they were lost in complete darkness. There are a few threats here. Now, this is where it gets a little strange. Threat being the bleeding night, the ever-spreading darkness that emanates from deep within the catacombs.
Yep.
Magical multitudes. The overflow of magic from another realm is drawing in creatures and monsters from throughout your world. And then the other threat is the harbingers of light. These were-unicorns and these rainbow bites are creatures of light, and they don't like this darkness. So they are also trying to stop this darkness, but for their own gain. And that gain is to bathe the world in constant light. Obviously, our ally here is Keith. He senses this magical darkness. He wants to get in on this. He will help you as long as you help him find Le Couche, which is French for legal stuff. Massively shoehorned into here is that the hidden entrance to the lower catacombs lies deep within the deadly maze that is the Ark of the Puzzleman escape room.
Nice.
Hydrate.
My countdown is as such. We've got our day is a portal to the realm of eternal darkness has opened in the catacombs. Our shadows, tourists have gone missing in the catacombs. Sunset, strange creatures are drawn to the magic of the catacombs. Dusk, the were-unicorns and the rainbow bites have resolved their issues and are now working together to bring light to the darkness. Nightfall, days are lasting longer than usual. Midnight, all darkness is consumed and the world is thrown into complete disarray in beautiful rainbow light. Obviously, the solution here is to close this portal of magic without the were-unicorns and the rainbow bites getting there first. I did not use the lock and load, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I noticed. Yep.
But that was a bonus round, so does it really count?
Okay.
Doesn't it?
I'll say I really like the mystery. I like the way you brought everything into it, and the fact that you've got the eternal darkness and the were unicorns and trolls fighting. That's lovely to throw hunters in the middle of all that. Yeah, I'll take off half a point for missing out your gear, and another half a point because the countdown has fallen into the trap many people get when they're writing countdowns of including things that should have already happened when the hunters arrive. So I kind of expect that.
Tricky.
If they're coming to find the tourists, they've already gone missing. So
okay, fair.
9 points for that one.
That passes.
Yep, cool. Which means Ian, you're up next. What do you got for us?
Let's hear it, bud.
My mystery is also
British.
Phenomenon mystery. It's called Bermuda, Bahama, come on, baby, drama. This is a community theater.
I was drinking.
This is a community theater themed cruise named on a ship called the SS Noah Dark. It disappears in the Bermuda Triangle. Every night, there's a different show. Every night, there's a different tragic magic event. Will the hunters get to the bottom of the mystery before the cruise and all of its inhabitants are lost forever to the Great Triangle? Or will something else very strange happen? The hook is in the middle of a showing of Hamlet, but it takes place...
Excuse me.
Oh, yes. What's up?
You have to do a voice.
Oh, Lord. Which voice should I do, chat? Tell me what voice to do, chat. It's in-game. Barb. Oh, no, not Barb. All right. I have to do my Barb in front of Michael Sands. Oh, this is tragic.
Hey, go for it.
Okay, in the middle of a showing of Hamlet, but it takes place in a post-apocalyptic America, because every community theater Shakespeare has to have a twist. The power goes out on the cruise. My countdown is that during the day, the power goes out again. This time, about a third of the ship goes missing. In the shadows, the captain warps into Garthula, the Vibe Spire. At sunset, the whole ship morphs into something resembling one of the plays. At dusk, Garthula steers this terrible ship of absurd horror towards a country where it is set to dock. At nightfall, the city where it docks begins being overrun by entropic horror. At midnight, the world is eventually taken over by the Bermuda Triangle's horrific magic. Jesus Christ.
A round of applause. Yeah.
I'm gonna ditch Barb. Sorry, guys, but
It has perhaps.
You gotta throw her back in. It's fine. Catch and release.
Like I said, this is a phenomenon mystery. The phenomenon is that the entropic. Sorry, did I miss something? Johnny, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Did I talk over?
I was just saying catch and release. Shame on you.
Oh, no, it's a good one. Yeah, for sure. The phenomenon is the entropic magic, I guess is what I meant to put there, of the Bermuda Triangle's. Oh, there we go. The entropic force of the Bermuda Triangle's magic begins morphing things to resemble the strange plays of the community theater happening on the cruise. The powers is that entropic randomness based in the theater. The weakness is the hunters could write a play about a normal and pleasant cruise. They need to perform it for the keeper, of course. I need to write a custom move for randomness. You said that I could kind of put some stuff that needs to be done. The whirlpool. This is a random note. The Whirlpoolinator 9000 is in storage. Be careful. The bystanders are Captain Bill, Captain Bill Shakespeare, Chicken Wing McGee, because of course he's on this cruise. He would need to be. And Stacy Siebler, a star thespian. She is a skeptic. She's totally skeptical of anything being magical, because I think something this absurd needs someone sitting around being like, nothing's going wrong. This is just community theater, the power of the theater, that sort of thing. The minions, I just got the Bluegaloo crew. The crew of the ship eventually morphs into these funny little guys. Locations, Noah's Dark, which is the ship, the prison/wilds. There's the pool, which is a hub. You can meet people. There's the main stage, which is a lab for strangeness. And that's as far as I got today.
Dang.
I think you hit everything, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 5 points fitting the rules. And honestly, I'm going to give you 5 points for the coolness and usefulness. Because I think you, with all that weird stuff, you made it kind of work perfectly together. which shouldn't be possible.
It's my specialty.
You were very good at that.
God damn.
Yes, yeah. I think Ian had a bit of an advantage there with the having shrimp and crits and everything like that as much more weirder than some of our others podcasts.
By that logic, I should have the same advantage, and I didn't get 10 points.
I feel, you had an unfair advantage in that you do this really well.
He's had more experience with this type of crazy, is what I'm saying.
And points deductions aside, I think you all did fantastic. They were hilarious and awesome, the stuff you came up with. However, I think Ian takes the crown with pipping everyone else with a few more points for winning the first Great Monster Make-Off.
Yay!
We'll see you on All Stars.
Hell
awesome.
Woo.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't have a prize because it would cost too much to send something from New Zealand.
Yeah, the prize is the satisfaction of having taken part.
Yes.
I think the surprise is going to be all those clips.
Yeah, I mean, you literally wrote the book on this, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Thanks for judging. Thank you for judging, Mike. I appreciate it. And thank you for awarding me the top prize of the evening.
Yep. No,
we'll say that we tied second place, right?
Yeah.
That's perfect tie, right?
Down the middle.
And thanks to Sarah for coming up with the idea and inviting all of us to do this. It was
yes, brilliant idea. Yes,
really
thank
fun.
you. Love it.
Yeah, well, I can't take complete credit for it because Twitch streamer Cinderblock Sally did something very similar with Dungeons and Dragons, and I watched it and I said, "Can I use this for Monster of the Week?" And he said, "Yes." So I asked Mike if he wanted to join in, and he was like, "Ooh, yes, I would." And you guys you're up for anything, right?
Clearly.
Pretty much.
I haven't said no,
obviously.
Awesome.
So yeah. So I'll just tie everything up. I don't know what I'm streaming next week. Probably something. And I will want to say thank you to everyone here for participating. Thank you to the audience for making some interesting suggestions, some crazy suggestions, and asking us questions. Thank you to our competitors so much for being such good sports and excellent keepers.
I'm also looking forward to seeing these mysteries in your shows.
Yes. There you go.
I have this.
Season 2 of Shrimp and Crits.
I mean, Monster's Playbook
Not revealing
is
anything yet.
We are going to ramp up a new campaign at the end of after the end of this year. But expect to see Rumpelstiltskin incandescent in something.
Hey, honestly, I'm impressed.
By him.
I'm impressed that you said Rumpelstiltskin incandescent so many times without fucking it up once. I was
and
like,
it's
holy shit.
It's all one word too. I don't know if you know that, but it's all one word.
Oh, I saw.
And
That's
he's gonna be so mad if you get his name wrong. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and also, huge thanks to Mike for not only creating Monster of the Week, but also for being here and answering questions and providing feedback to us. As keepers.
Like I say, you're welcome. It was fun to take part and come up with those crazy challenges. Sorry, by the way.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm brimming. I loved it.
You're not, and you shouldn't be.
So if you don't have Monster of the Week yet, there's a link in the chat to go find it. An affiliate link, so I get a few cents. Also, Ian and Kat can be found on Shrimp and Crits, the podcast, and also Jonny is on the Monsters Playbook podcast. There's all of the links there. Does anyone have anything they want to say before we wave awkwardly and end the show?
Thanks for having us. Really.
Thank you.
And audience,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Those were great suggestions.
Honestly, yes.
Thank you, Jonny. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Sero. Not you, Cap.
Yeah.
I, however, am delighted to have seen all of you.
Okay. That just leaves us to wave awkwardly, like I said, while I find the bye-bye button. Bye.
See ya.
This has been Book Club, the Great Monster Make-Off. Thank you again to Sero, Michael, Ian, and Cap. The Monsters Playbook is produced and engineered by Maya Detchen-Wander and edited by Maya Detchen-Wander and Lauren Johnson. Our theme song is by Johnny Grubb. If you like this episode, please tell a friend. We love friends. And if you just can't get enough of the Monsters Playbook, join us on Patreon. We have bonus episodes, exclusive merch, and patron-only mini-series and side stories. Or join us on Discord, where we pretty much just hang out. We're also on social media, obviously, so you can get updates on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Blue Sky. We'll see you next episode, where, as always, we'll have some good news and some bad news. Thanks for listening.